这也很正常，就跟我们平时自己玩一样，你一输一天，人都傻了。
没错，人之常情嘛，大家都会有这样的一个心理状态。
对。
所以这就体现出来一个队伍当中啊，无论说是这个有没有教练啊，没有教练的话，可能就是领队或者经理来给大家拧这个绳儿；那有教练的话，就是教练来承担这样一个责任。怎么样把这个大家的这个心团结在一起啊？
可能也是因为之前在 PWL 一直处于一个 B 级联赛，然后现在打 VC 突然进入到了这个 S 级，适应不了这个强度，
有可能
就是相当于在一个可能比较大的一个组别，这个其实影响还挺大的。你想，你可以回顾一下我们之前这个19赛季吧，那会儿 Minor Major 的时候，那会儿从 Minor 打上去队伍，好多 Major 成绩都不错，对吧？就是你在一个可能相对来说跟自己水平差不多的环境里，你能一直连胜，这个状态就好了。哎，你这时候再去打更高级的那个组别，你发现你的这个心态啊什么的都会更好。
对。
因为你按正常思维来说，你一个 minor 打出来的去打 major 应该是垫底的嘛，但是基本上都是前6那会儿。
我印象中那会儿 VG 包括 IG 都有经历过这种
，minor 打
major 之后晋级过来，然后再打 major。
VG 还另行一个夺冠。
对 ，VG 当时还是一个夺冠，就是印象比较深了。
所以跟这个组别还是挺有关系的。来转世就可能如果你把它放在A 级联赛里，它可能这个风生水起的。
对，
但是直接往 S 级这个联赛一丢，
对，因为他们的这个就像你前面说的这个战术目前可能比较少，就是能够赢下比赛的这个阵容不是特别多。
其实就像你刚才说那个他们班人美杜莎，我看了一下，最近赢比赛还是靠美杜莎。
对，但是
这就很致命了。
现在 S 级的队伍其实还是挺尊重他们的，还是会把美杜莎搬了。
但是搬了以后你没有别的套路，这就是一个最大的问题。
所以我刚刚看到 MS 他的那个最近使用英雄里面是没有美杜莎的，不是代表说他没有选，
玩不到，
很
难受。
小福。
这个 S 级的比赛当中，基本上 S 级的比赛每个队伍起码都要有3到4套拿得出手的体系。
对，
他们可能没有这么多的时间去准备如此多的套路来应对。
来白展示的他们的4号位 CatU 还是非常强的，他的土猫，我觉得你如果是放在1线队里，我觉得也是。那个水平也是非常足够的，
印象还是比较深的。然后气的这些节奏型中单也打得比较好，像他的紫毛，当然他有一个中单杜姆，现在版本是见不到了。
对，杜姆这英雄最近我包括比其他赛区都很少选。
Voice of reason, and in my issues that they have to deal with in this tournament, from decision making to drafting, but really what they have to work out and what doesn't come easily to you is experience and nerves. If you look at their games, some games that they even have a decent draft, they miss key ingredients to their team fights. Like you have an OD setting up with Astral Imprisonment, then missing a hammer on that. It doesn't happen. This guy is like ranked 7, I believe. X.
We talked about it. I believe that
nerves.
Was the game that I was casting. You know, maybe these players are. For me, is like decision making and just some overall mistakes. Like one game, I remember them climbing high ground with like 5k gold at the laning stage. With no vision, and then they just straight up lose a fight. Like it's just, you know, some 3k MMR stuff right there. Like you don't climb the vision, that like the whole team's climbing up there. They don't even place an observer board.
And what makes a team do that? If they're all top 100, top 30, most of them, they know these things.
Players are extremely skilled. Like you know, because throughout the history of Dota, like there were a lot of good players that knew how to play the lanes, knew how to draft, they were mechanically skilled, but when it comes to playing in a team, the decision-making wise, what needs to be done after the laning stage, how to approach certain problems, like they were just falling apart.
Yeah, I certainly have. And as the draft is now live, there's one comparison I'd like to make between Baboka, Borax, aka, and Kachu, because Kachu has also been this very kind of active position 4. He's a bit of a lunatic as well. I think the two players are very comparable, so it's going to be interesting seeing them match up against each other. But of course, Borax, he's just had a much better performance and much better consistency throughout this tournament. And we're starting
They
off
were
with
really on a break because they did not read the patch notes. They're just, picking all the heroes that were popular. And, just kidding, because the nerfs are not that big. I tried playing Shaker after the nerf. You can feel the difference. Half duration stun after you get the shard.
They can get away a little bit from the fissure. It's way
just
harder.
Not enough. It's not enough. You still have that 2-second cooldown reduction on fissure. You can walk over the fissure. Everything's good, but you can feel the difference.
And we had this discussion on one of the previous panels as well. You buff up a hero in a different way after you've taken something away from him that he was known for, like this Shaker with the Echo Slam, right? He was all about that. Blink Dagger, Echo Slam. You nerfed the Echo, you buffed up the Fissure with the Shard and the Enchant Totem, right? And now you've taken that away from him as well. So where is this hero? He doesn't really have the greatest ulti component any longer, and his Shard isn't as broken as before. So we'll see how much LBZS will be able to do with him. This most likely will be Katyu as well. And LBZS usually don't play Katyu on these greedy position 4s. It's usually your Tusks, your Earth Spirits, these heroes that only need levels. Shaker is a different kind. He needs a little bit of space and usually is a little bit more difficult to execute with. Team Aster, however, they just open up with the normal stuff for them.
Problem with the Earthshaker is, like, if you have all your towers, you can't find the farm with the Earthshaker. Like, you love when you have Earthshaker, it might sound stupid, but you want your safe lane tower to fall, because this is where Earthshaker most of the time gets the farm for his Blink Dagger. If you have all your towers alive and you're kind of losing the game, enemies not pressuring it, Earthshaker doesn't have anywhere to go, like, because it feels like a waste for him to be in the jungle. You want to do stuff on the map, but if cores are farming, you can't get the farm anywhere.
No. It's kind of awkward. You always want to try and get your farm from being active, playing on map, but at the same time, you need to get those creeps as well to supplement it.
They just picked Beastmaster into
Abaddon,
yeah. So that was like historically known as like one of the counters. Abaddon with the shield, purges off the Beastmaster ulti. Stun is good. Beastmaster is not all about that stun. Like, he provides so much vision, map control, mana burn is nice. Yeah, like the tower pressure, the Roche taking potential, everything is there, but still picking Beastmaster into Abaddon
it's not great.
Just feels, a bit weak.
I was also thinking, why did they do this? And maybe they've practiced this.
And you couldn't think of anything?
I couldn't really. Maybe they were practicing the laning stage in which Beastmaster versus Abaddon can do something, because so far from Team Aster, it's mostly been Lanum playing it on position 5.
Yeah.
And you can pressure that lane. Abaddon has that aphotic shield, but isn't the strongest laner, even though he looks a bit stronger than before right now. Like, these position 5 Abaddons surprise you with the amount of
And he usually
hurt
starts with boots, which is a great benefit when you're playing into Beastmaster. Boar, you do not want to get slowed, and it feels like if you die, something we see also from Team Aster across other regions as well, but specifically Team Aster, like Abaddon just goes in, dies, possibly trades a hit, refills the bottle for their mid laner, comes back to the safe lane. It's just that this hero doesn't need farm. Like, all you need is a couple of levels. You get that level 6, and the hero's good to go.
Also remember that he starts with boots. At the same time, Beastmaster's boar's movement speed have been nerfed.
Yeah.
So those boars will not be able to run away that easily from an Abaddon, even if you micro them well. And this lane, Shaker plus Beastmaster, it's all right, but it's not really the thing that you usually combo with the Shaker. Shaker, he really complements these offlaners that usually struggle in the lanes, not really these offlaners that want to pressure hard, because he doesn't truly bring in the right clicks, the pressure. He usually just messes up with the equilibrium.
Do you think it's possible that we'll see the Shaker utilizing the Beastmaster's independence to go make plays on mid instead?
Possibly.
It's possible, but you already see who's their mid. It's this Puck, and Shaker rotating on a Puck. Good
And
luck,
I love this, like Team Aster. It could be like position 4 puck, could be mid puck. Something that we usually see also whenever there's puck, like there's a TA ban, there's Dragonite ban. It didn't happen here, so maybe they're thinking this puck will go position 4 from LBZS perspective.
And they have played it before as well on the 4. Maybe this Enigma can even be 5 on Aster. Like they're just keeping it so open.
I don't think you want to play a Baron as position 3. It just doesn't feel right compared to the other top tier offlaners. But if Enigma is position 3 here, okay, so that's why they didn't ban it. Okay.
There you go.
I think you just flex it and you pick a match.
Overall, this LBZS draft doesn't look that bad. Like their draft looks solid. You have some ways of dealing with the black hole. You have the roar, even though you won't really use it to get pickoffs. You have roar with the soulbind as well. TA scales well. It is this strange mid laner that isn't truly a playmaker and needs a little bit of space. But if you itemize correctly, you can do that too. The matchup versus Puck is good, so Puck will be relegated.
Scary Roche taking lineup from LBZS. You have Templar Assassin, Beastmaster, good ways to protect it with the Earthshaker. Like LBZS, I said at the start of the show that their drafts, they looked really good, and you can see that they understand, what's good, what's not. It's just that decision making.
Yeah. I mean, it's as well. The Beastmaster pick, I'm still not sure about it. I mean, although Grimstroke, 2 roars, you can only purge off one of them. Force him to make a decision.
As long as you roar the Enigma, that's all you really care about as a Beastmaster here. As long as you break that black hole. Now with the PL pick, there are definitely a lot of positives here for the PL. You're good versus Beastmaster in the lane.
Yeah,
You're good versus TA later on in the game as well. There are some negatives as well. Grimstroke and Shaker, both of these heroes deal a ton of AoE and can mess you up a little bit. So
Leish mechanic against PL works really well. Earthshaker, Echo Slam. It's not just Echo. Stroke of Fate deals a ton of damage to Phantom Lancer Illusions, and it's kind of easy to find him. We're talking about like mid-game, later on when he tanks up, Grimstroke's like, bro, please don't go on me. Just pick off someone else.
You're just running away, or you're buying Aghanims and trying to use it. On any of the illusions. If you use it, you can get the real PL, so
okay, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, especially with PLs itemizing for this heart early on, though, we tend to see, these traditional counters where you've got this magic damage to use against him kind of just fall off a bit. It doesn't feel as strong as it used to.
Now, I completely understand the logic behind Team Master's draft so far. It's solid, but it's not easy to execute. And when you look at the amount of stuns that they've got, there's nothing really. You have Enigma and you have, Puck with Dream Coil?
Yeah.
It's rough.
It is a bit
It's
rough.
a slow lineup. Looking at their lineup, Puck needs time, especially if it's a position 4. A Baron 5 doesn't provide you with any kind of rotation. He's more counter-reacting to what the enemy is doing. Phantom Lancer, he needs his items. Enigma, whatever position he's playing, he needs farm. So very greedy lineup from Team Aster. Punishable, in my opinion. LBZS has a very strong opening.
I love how we're reserved here, but if it was different, if it was the opposite sides, we'd be a little bit more harsh on the Radiant draft, but the PL kind of saves it. The PL pick definitely looks alright, and LBZS, all they need for their draft to work is to find the real answer to the PL right now on their side. They banned the troll themselves, sadly. There is Ursa still in the pool, right? That's something that they could go for. Brings some more aggression to the game as well on their side.
So they think it's 5. Why did they ban Mars? They think it's mid-Mars, possibly?
Could be mid-Puck, offlane Mars, I guess, versus TA still.
Offlane Mars, yeah.
But
yeah. We were expecting them to move the Puck, though.
Exactly. When you pick
LBZS
TA,
should probably think that as well.
When you pick TA into Puck, you usually expect Puck to move, and they go with the Dragonite.
Dragon? Is he good versus TA?
You can lane. It's all right.
It's a good overall Dragonite pick, where their damage is pretty static. Like, they don't have any kind of burst damage. Dragonite is not afraid of these heroes. And it's also a flex pick, so they can adjust their lanes, possibly put Puck on the off lane, Dragonite mid, they can do
something that they
lower cooldown ability,
needed,
that keeps them in place. Sounds good. Also known as stun.
And he's in the anime that's coming up, so we can't really have games without.
Yeah, so they have like
True. Does that mean they got to pick Mirana now in LBZS?
so they have like two problems. Ursa feels okay against the Dragonite, against Phantom Lancer. You need to solve two problems with one pick. You need something that deals well with the illusions and something that the Dragonite is also afraid of. Like Templar Assassin could provide enough time for Ursa to come online, farm that Battle Fury. But what are the other options?
That's the problem, right? You're in this TA hole, and TA isn't truly your playmaker. Even if you go Blink, Tezo, it's still a lot of farming. It's still a lot of time spent in the triangle. And you still are the losing... You're on the losing side versus PL later on. So they still go with the Ursa. I like this. I called this earlier, but it feels weird because who will make enough space for this Ursa to get that Battle Fury to go ham afterwards?
So we're kind of feeling like if Aster take one step forward in the laning phase, they're just going to start running. And it's going to be very difficult for LBZS to weather the storm.
I still like LBZS draft a lot.
Like they have a strong lineup. Like third time, you have two best Roche-taking heroes in the game. Ursa, Templar Assassin, Beastmaster on top of that. That's the third one. But yeah, I mean, they have a really good chance in this game with a draft like this.
Okay,
they really do.
Yeah, so based on that, is it enough to swing your prediction in favor of LBZS?
Not really. They didn't win a single game. You know, it's kind of hard to go against that. Team Master has proven as a very stable team, knows how to play from behind. LBZS, you know, I have to see this one. You know, I'm just very hyped to what's going to happen. LBZS has a better draft in my opinion, and you know, but the execution has just been lacking.
All right.
Same. I feel the same way he does completely. I'm going with Aster. Ryan, 27 rank, Beastmaster. He needs to do a lot this game.
I'm so tempted. I'm always tempted by the underdogs. And you know what? If ever there's a game, you know, fresh off a long break, maybe, just maybe LBZS can sneak in a win here. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for my Sunny boys, the optimism. I'm going for LBZS. But let's bring on our cast and find out what they think, as we've got BCop and Black in the casting booth waiting to get into this one. Guys, what is we thinking?
You know, I was reading the winds today, and you know, the winds were whispering, talking into my ear, and they said Aster.
You've done that one before. Black, very quickly from you.
I'm running out.
Aster as well.
Aster as well. Alrighty, that'll do, but guys, let's jump into game number 1 of Aster versus LBZS. Take it away.
Thank you, Nomad. Coming into game number 1, Aster against LBZS. It is the top versus the bottom. A big one here for both teams as we get later and later into the league. Everyone seems pretty important, even when it's, you know, top of the table, bottom of the table. But we'll see how Aster perform. LBZS, I kind of like their draft. I just don't have
faith in
enough faith that they've had good laning stages. They've looked good until about 15 minutes, and then it always seems to fall apart for them.
Stream sniping going on there? Nah, I'm just kidding, of course, but that is a very, very good D-ward, very early into the game. And yeah, I mean, they do have potential with their lineup. PL is not super good against Shaker as well as Ursa. They have a lot of ways of locking him down. But I mean, that being said, we have seen a lot of PLs just after a hard pickup that is completely unkillable. And we might run into the same story again this game.
Yeah, that was 23 Savage the other day who just, you know, even though his start was a little bit slow, or well, really, his start wasn't slow, his team's start was slow. He kind of took over, right?
Yeah, this time around they have much better answers to that PL though. And they do end up picking the Dragon Knight, which I think is a really good matchup against the TA. You don't ever really get pressure too much. And just mid-late game, you know, one Dragon Tail can just completely shift the favor into your, or rather the fight into your favor.
I'm interested to see how X does in this mid lane, because White Album has been having a tournament, or well, having a league. He's been playing so well. He's been very impressive, and I'm just wondering if X has the answers. I'm always a big fan of watching TA. I think it's one of those heroes that, given a decent lane, can really pop off. But is this the kind of game where, you know, you're going Blink or Deso, and then from there, is this a game where you can pop off?
I mean, it's tough because you play against Puck Coil, you play against the Baron and a support you can't assassinate, you play against Enigma, a support who's hard to assassinate as well because you can just get Black Hole, Dragon Knight, naturally tanky, PL, one of the worst matchups for TA. So it's not a easy TA game by any means. We'll have to see what he can get done. If you snowballs really hard, you know, he gets at his minute 11, 12 Deso, gets a quick Roche, there's potential that he can take over the map. But it's just very, very difficult against this kind of draft. That being said, though, both drafts are pretty greedy.
Yeah, it seems like that this draft from LBZS maybe is centered around getting Roche's MS getting run down here for a moment. Monet needs to be a little bit careful. Like, if you get a Desolator early on the TA, you've got Ursa and TA who can potentially sneak into Roche early on and get themselves an Aegis, right?
Very easily, yes. But the fighting should be a little easier for Aster until Shaker gets his blink at least. Because they have an easy coil setup, they have a Baron and Dragon Knight who can just run into the front lines and tank up for them.
Right.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what Dia can do here. If they're gonna go for the greedy route on the Ursa or the more fighty route, like maybe some Blink Basher kind of build. Because if you go Battle Fury together with the TA, that is extremely greedy. But maybe they can get away with it, because the enemy has a +5 Enigma, a +4 Abaddon.
Well, for Aster, I guess Borax is
the +4, yes.
Yeah, so
maybe they switched lanes. Yeah.
Maybe they just took the better lanes. I'm not sure Abaddon at the end of the day is going to get farm priority in a lineup like this, right?
Yeah, I was just a little confused because usually it's line him on that Abaddon on the safe lane, but this game is in the off lane.
I don't think I mind him here in the off lane though.
I mean, he's doing a lot of work.
Yeah, but
zoning them away from the pull, and we can already see Dragon Knight is stomping the TA. Now, I don't think that should happen. He's 10 CS ahead, doubling him.
Yeah, that's quite the stomp happening over mid.
That is not something that should happen. Like I said, you can't pressure the DK, but you can easily out CS him with the refraction, of course. He should not be able to get 8 denies in.
Right. And this is just confidence from White Album, too. He's had such a good league, it feels like right now he's playing as confident as ever.
Yeah, we have said he's doing an amazing job. And again, this game starting to pop off already. And when DK gets over 6, it's not easy for TA anymore. That Poison Dragon takes away the refraction. You're suddenly range here yourself. They should be fine.
He does get silenced. He's getting run down by Lanham. He'll eat a lot of damage.
There's no up of Venom, but he's still outspeeding him. Yeah, if he doesn't TP or get away soon,
he's got to get under the tower. If he doesn't get under the tower, he might just die here.
5
the silence
hits.
Doing this
4,
damage.
3.
Needs a couple. Is he going to dive the tower?
Shield.
He's got the aphotic shield. Yeah, Lanham just runs down Zhao Fu.
Without that oof even. No up of Venom. And still gets the kill. Very surprised by that. I'm pretty sure the Grimstock was also very surprised. Stun on the Shaker here.
Yeah, Cat Yu going for the courier, but that might have been so greedy. He might end up falling, but he's got a lot of distance with those extra boots of speed as well. There's no way to catch him.
Yeah. You know what I just recently learned after like 15 years of Dota? Totem increases your attack range by 75. Did you know that?
I'm going to say yes, but
no.
I'm lying.
I spoke to a lot of +4 players. I was like, yo, I just recently discovered it. They're like, what? I didn't even know that. Now I know why it's always so long when he hits me with it.
So it's okay that I don't know that.
Yes. Your excuse.
Calm down, please. I sense a lot of 2K MMR comments coming in, and I'm just like, hey, if he didn't know it, I didn't know it. It's okay.
One more creep until DK6, then Pressure Town is going to begin.
He actually lost his courier, though.
He did.
And that was pretty good.
There was a Falcon Blade in there.
Yeah.
Which would have been a big deal. But still, TA out of mana, running low on health as well. You can see the damage is really ramping up.
If they had one hero to help out for the side of Aster, they might be able to get the kill onto the TA. And that Fissure actually ends up putting White Album on the opposite side, so TA unable to take advantage of that, and Monet still eating a lot of damage from MS. Urshot going forward, Malefice onto the Ursa. And, well, now he's forced to turn around, and he should be a little bit careful.
Interesting skill build from the Enigma.
Ooh, Urshot in again. This is under the tower. Monet, he'll drop. Malefice under the tower should be a trade and will be. solo experience there for Borax, putting him at level 4.
Yes, interesting skill from the Enigma here. He maxed Eidolons before stun. Usually we see the max stun, in which case he would not have died there on the PL. You know? It's a little bit more of a greedy build coming out from Borax as expected. Probably wants to transition into a +4 Enigma with the high-level Eidolons. But, you know, if he went for the other skill build, probably could have saved his PL over there. If he gets silenced up here, might be a little bit of trouble, but Grimstroke also right there.
Yeah, so they've got some help. He wants to run after Lanham because he's got the Fissure coming in as well as the Inkswell, so they have the lockdown to get the kill onto the Abaddon.
Easy.
And this is a lot of rotation coming from him from LBZS. It opens up the lanes for both the Puck as well as the PL. And all they're
they
killing
needed
is a
to
5
stop
Abaddon.
the DK though. Like,
yeah.
He's 16 CS ahead of the TA still. Like, he's absolutely destroying this lane. I don't think it should be this one-sided. If anything, you trade farm, you know, but you should never lose to a DK as a TA.
Yeah, losing is a bit of an understatement. Down about 500 gold, not
19
that
denies
much.
also.
It's actually not that much gold.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to storm lanes nowadays.
And he's
Since
got these
denies
stacks to
give a
work
lot of
with.
experience. Yeah. I mean, TA will always end up farming, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're behind in the laning stage, it means you're not going to be snowballing. Whereas if you're winning the laning stage and you get those stacks anyways, that's
then
how
you
the
can
snowball
really
starts.
pop off.
Exactly.
We can take out the ward. Gets denied by Lanham. But that one click in to get the deny.
Yeah, that's what support players hate the most, of course. Because wards do give a good amount of experience in gold.
It feels really good. I did it a couple times yesterday. I denied some wards, and I was pretty happy about it.
Beast
Borax
Blaster.
taking a lot of damage, getting run down here. Irving looking for one more shot. Borax tries to get into the trees, but still a kill is there for Irving.
He was run down just by summons.
Yeah.
Just 2 boars and the Necronomicons. And he died.
He rotated there himself, so...
Yeah, he wanted to put a little bit of pressure onto the tower. I mean, I wouldn't have expected to die to just summons like that. He didn't even roar him.
Yeah. Didn't even need to use that ulti.
Yeah. And we can just see how strong summons are this patch. I'm a big hater of summons. So much effort to kill them, and even if you do, they get very little gold. Maybe something to think about, Mr. Frog.
I think you were talking about on your stream the Spiderlings only giving like 3 gold.
Yeah, it's also ridiculous.
Felt pretty wild that it would just give up that little.
Invis Shaker here, potentially setting up for a gank.
Courier coming across. That should die. That's pretty bad for Borax. MS dying to Lanham over bottom.
Yeah, there were 3 heroes there. Abaddon, Enigma, as well as PL, getting the kill on the Ursa, which was very needed because the PL was actually 2 levels behind him.
Inkswell.
With
the Stroke of Fate, and now they're trying to get the damage out onto White Album, but you see how tanky the DK is. They start to turn this around onto Cat U, who throws out a totem, locking up both Lanham and White Album for a second, who won't chase up the stairs. Ooh, Royal Jelly.
Oh, that's a DK item right there.
Is that a do you just... Yeah, okay. I was going to say, he's already got Dragon's Blood. Do you give Royal Jelly potentially over to the Puck?
Nah, the mana region is super, super good on a hero like DK.
Okay.
Never out of mana. And of course, the additional health region is also nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, he's got the extra mana regen from the Falcon Blade.
Yep.
10 extra damage.
Now it's basically sustained forever. He might even think about getting the other talent now on level 10.
The 2 mana regen?
No, the Dragon Breath reduction.
Okay. I was going to say, why would he
It's a ton. It's a ton.
Yeah.
With the plus 24% on top of that, it's like half damage on everything.
Yeah, it ends up being 49%.
Another Dragon Form, yes. They might try to commit some more heroes here onto the mid lane from the Aster side, just to secure the tower. DK might be able to do it by himself if LBZS doesn't respond properly.
And they want to come over. You can see already the rotation from Zhao Fu.
Yeah, they need more heroes here on Aster if they want to really get that tower. But potentially, they just want to, force some rotations. Because they do have a greedy lineup. They just want to keep farming. They're up 2k gold right now. Puck, free farming. DK, free farming. PL struggling a little bit, but the 2 space makers / pace heroes of their lineup are doing perfectly fine. So
Yeah, these are 2 heroes that can fight without the PL.
yeah, PL's job this game is not to fight early, it's just to secure the mid late game.
And that's something that he could really get done. That's actually something that White Album can get done if he does work well in conjunction with XXS on the puck. Like, they get things done early on. DKs have, we've seen it, just been such a burden in the mid to late game.
Yeah, I mean, DK, if you have a really good game, you can transition to become this damage dealer in the mid-late game as well. Because you have so many good items you can go for. Ursa diving the tower here a little bit. No black hole available. 40 seconds cooldown.
And he's trying to get that courier to come out. They do get a scan coming in. Lanham, he'll show.
Level 6. He has his ult available if needed. But of course doesn't want to skill it right away. Echo Slam also available. He has to be careful on Lanham. Like, if you don't react fast, you get echoed in like 3 Eidolons, you can die fast.
He needs to watch himself. Blink Dagger picked up. Midnight Pulse. Ooh, MS. He needs to be very careful. Borax just short on the cooldown for Black Hole. Down for another 10 seconds. You know, the timings end up not being right. All of a sudden you dive right there and you get caught by the Black Hole.
You have to be really careful as Ursa. You are the winning condition. You're doing quite well for yourself, but you do need that battlefield to really start snowballing.
Yeah, and if it gets slowed down at all, like it's just going to feel better and better for the PL, who had a bit of a struggle in the lane, who's now ahead of the Ursa.
I'm a little bit scared for LBZS because like who's going to be the playmaker when TA is just farming, you know, and Ursa is going battlefield. He just wants to farm. And
TA's gone blink, so
you know, at least that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, because then you can fight with the Beastmaster. Or he just echoed a bunch of Eidolons. Interesting.
Now they've got the Fissure, Borax getting low, a Photic Shield, and the Summons will take out Borax along with Irving.
The second time. He must be having nightmares.
Dream Coil, it's used. It hits Cat U.
He missed the orb.
Should be able to get the kill still, and will.
Yep. Easy pickup. Who said Puck got nerfed? I mean, in the end, it's really not that big of a nerf, like 30 damage. His wave clear got a little bit weaker. But other than that, he's still the same hero. You know, Coil is still insanely strong. He's still elusive. Still a very strong hero. Just his laning phase and his mid-game wave cutting was nerfed a little bit.
But still feels like a pretty strong hero overall.
Still a strong hero, for sure.
Do you feel any difference? Because I know you play a lot of Puck.
Yeah, I mean, you can't kill a creeper with 2 spells anymore. You need to hit creeps once now, actually. It feels pretty bad, but ultimately it's still Puck, you know?
Yeah.
Teamfight, menace, very hard to catch.
I've been watching a lot of your Puck games.
Yeah. One of my best heroes.
Definitely seems like it.
Yeah, 45-0, no problem.
DK going for a Heaven's Halberd here.
Yeah, perfect.
He's pretty close to it too.
Yeah, I mean, it owns Ursa as well as TA. Both these heroes do the same thing. None of them have any magic. Even Beastmaster really has no magic damage at all. So they're all in physical, which Heaven's Halberd makes a lot of sense. DK, in general, is super good against these kind of heroes with the Dragon Blood.
Anybody here picking up a Crimson Guard for Aster?
It's possible. It just always feels a little bad against these Necros because you can just purge it off.
Right.
I feel like Crimson Guard should not be purgeable, but maybe there will be a change that happens in the future.
Wouldn't mind that change either.
Because that's really like why people don't want to buy Crimson Guard anymore. It's really expensive, and on top of that, you just purge it.
Yeah.
So PL is going for Saint Jasha first. No defusal, no nothing. So he's going the full greed farm route.
I'm pretty sure he made that decision a little bit later, as he had Diffusal queued up. They've got the silence on the Zhao Fu. They're chasing down this Grimstroke, Mistcoil, one more shot. There's the kill for Lanham. Meanwhile, Irving going down to XXS. So XSS and Monet combine to get themselves a second on the board, as now LBZS think about fighting 3v5.
They have to be really careful. Like, this TA does not have enough damage right now. She needs a Desolator. Yep, needs a 900 gold for that. And then I need to start fighting. Ursa, however, went for the Battle Fury, so the team fight isn't super strong. This TA can still get caught out very easily by one Dragon Tail or a Black Hole. He went Adelan's first item, actually, on Enigma. Interesting. Gives him a very big cast range on the Black Hole, of course. Have to see how he can make use of that.
Positioning. Fissure comes in, and he's going to be the one who tanks this for now. Soulbind on both the DK as well as the Abaddon. They get the kill on Cat U, though. They've done enough damage to take out this Earthshaker. That means no Echo Slam in the fight. if they are to engage.
Yeah, this DK is just massive. He's sitting at 2.2k health, Heaven's Halberd, 35 health region, and a Baton behind him. And there's just so much space for the PL as well as the puck.
He's really not been touched. Monet is, you know, other than that first death bottom, his game's been pretty open.
Yeah. We'll have to see if they want to defend the bot tower. It's not going to be easy. They don't have a Glyph. Abaddon's ult popped already. They do kill the Necro. Do they? Yeah, they do.
They have,
and DK's here to defend.
Yeah, Elder Dragon form in 30. Medallion picked up for Irving.
400 gold until Blink Dagger on Shaker.
And then just 400 gold until you've got Deso on Templar Assassin.
Yeah, but the item timings are very slow. Like we can see they have 5k gold behind because they can't be as efficient.
Echo committed on Monet. Whoa.
Interesting.
That...
He hit just Ilus with that? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he used the Echo almost seemingly defensively to run away from Monet.
Who doesn't even have a Diffusal. There's no way he can actually chase you down. Yeah, maybe he just wanted to get some extra farm in. That's the second Echo we have seen on the creep wave.
Yeah.
Much. So, yeah. I mean, this PL, once he gets one, oh, he's going Skadi straight after. Okay, he's just going for the full man fight build.
Because he's given that much space, right? Like, you could get a little greedier, even in a greedy lineup like this, when nobody's coming to touch you.
Yeah.
He's almost into one ulti orb already.
It's just a strange decision because Diffusal Blade is very strong against TA as well as Ursa.
Right.
Because they care a lot about their mana.
MS jumps in.
Yep, the Micah silenced up here though. Orb Corrosion on the Abaddon. One more hit.
So they just need the silence because they'll have the follow-up from White Album.
Stun.
As now Inkswell, Phantom's Embrace on both heroes. Inkswell pops, Fissure to follow it up.
It's a long black hole.
He comes in. There's the black hole. It lands on a 2. They'll get the kill on a MS. They'll bring over X. They already killed off the Ursa though, and well, this is, oh jeez. X showing up and one-shotting Borax. Now they've got the Dragon Tail as well as the Dream Coil on a 2. They'll take out Irving. They look over at the Grimstroke. Cat U blinks in. He doesn't have an Echo, so I'm going to drop it. They get the kill into Zhao Fu. They look over at X. The TA now on the run. Needs some help from cooldown Illusory Orb as well as the silence onto the TA. Popping the borrowed time, getting the kill, taking out 4, and Aster come out ahead. And that is all.
Who is still just happily farming away. 7k ahead now. And we can see this Puck DK as well as a Bat in the team fight. They're just almost unstoppable. They just don't have enough damage to chew through them. And they have a lot of disables on the side of Aster. Their draft is very, very good. And they just can't touch this DK. That being said, they're TPing in right now. 2.6k health though. He's very tanky.
Oh, gets the Dragon Tail before he's even touched by the totem.
Yeah. The instant stun for Dragon Tail is a very, very useful tool. I feel like we're going to see more Dragonite as time passes by anyways. I think it's a very strong hero right now. A little bit underpicked. Gives you a lot of good things, you know. Tower pressure, tanky hero, scaling hero, instant stuns.
I mean, this used to be just a cornerstone pick for the Chinese region all the time.
Yep. And I think we'll be seeing that again soon. Anyway, you saw the huge cast range on Black Hole, right? They're smoking onto the PL.
There's the Echo. Do they have the damage? The Fissure, the right clicks. Monet, Doppelganger, Dream Coil onto 4. Monet, he's still alive for a moment thanks to the Aphotic Shield. Now they've got the Primal Roar. That hits on the 2. Doing some decent damage here. Soulbind reconnecting. They pop the borrowed time. They get the kill to Cat U. They take into the Earthshake and they look over the Ursa. MS in trouble. Inkswell hits on both the DK as well as the Abaddon. They'll take out White Album, but the Illusory Orb coming in from XSS. That'll be enough damage to finish off MS, but the right clicks in from X are more than enough for him to get 4 kills, or well, LBZS get 4 kills. However, it is a 4 for 3, so pretty costly in taking a fight like that.
Massive fight for Radiant. Unfortunately, Monet did not make it over. Or they might be going Enigma here, who has a Ghost Scepter though. Purged off immediately by the Necro though.
Yeah, Borax in trouble. Midnight Pulse down. Zhao Fu coming in. Stroke of Fate. That lands.
I really gotta say, this PL has been a little bit of a burden on the Radiant side. Like, he basically forced them into that bad fight by being caught out there. And he hasn't joined any fights to begin with, you know, like, that's why I don't like this item build at all. Like, it doesn't, like, you don't want to join fights with this item build, you know, like, you're building a Saint Yasha into a Skadi, and you just have no way of really locking anyone down, slowing anyone. It's just a very selfish, you know, self-orientated item build. You can see the fight here again. He doppelgangers, but he gets caught on the same side. It's a bit unlucky for him, of course.
Yeah, the two illusions actually ended up on the opposite side.
And not him, yeah. Which is very obvious because the Furious Wipes debuff obviously doesn't get purged off when you doppelganger. And then you just trickle in one by one into that fight, which is really how they lose. If they're all 5 together, they don't lose a single fight here. But because they trickle in, Daya just has the chance, you know, just keep hitting them one by one, and ultimately end up team wiping them.
Yeah, Grimstroke being probably the biggest problem in that fight. The Soulbind locks up the DK. You know, there with the Abaddon, Primal Roar comes in, hits on both of them. The Phantom's embraces, like the silences were pretty massive there. It's what helps them kill XSS towards the end of that fight too. Yeah,
but again, it only happened because they were trickling in one by one. If they're all there, they don't have enough damage to chew through them. But that being said, 5k gold made up by the team Dire. We'll have to see whether TA is going to itemize into BKB. He saw that smoke under the battle. Like, he knows they're smoked up. Probably going for the PL again. Dragon Knight going straight into AC. No BKB. Interesting. A lot of very unorthodox item builds coming out here from Radiant.
Might be a little overconfidence from sitting at top of the table going against somebody at the bottom.
He knows they're smoked. Like, if he gets caught here, it could be real bad.
Sells the... He had bought the recipe, now he sells it, goes into Hyperstone. Echo Slam again.
He
from
blinked
KU.
out. He blinked out of the Echo Slam.
So we got the Soulbind as well as Phantom's Embrace. Primal Roar onto both of them. Midnight's Pulse is down.
But you don't even
Ink
care.
Swell X. Not gonna land it. Fissure comes in. They don't have Echo Slam to work on this fight.
Yeah.
Can't use 1 for 4, 1 for 5.
It was pretty unlucky. Like, he was smoked up. He tried to echo the puck, but he blinked away literally the same time he tried to blink echo. So it's hard to fault him there. It was just timings. You could call it bad luck. But Grimstroke ult down, and you can see here why TA is not good against the Baron. You can't burst him down. It's not a hero you want to play against as TA. As TA, you want to jump in and kill a hero.
You can only burst any of these heroes down, right?
Yeah. TA is going into MKB first, before BKB. There's also a suicidal item, but I don't know what I'm seeing here from all these players.
Well, now Monet's going for it.
Yeah, after Skadi.
and this is first Roche going in for Aster. Like, we talked about LBZS's lineup and how we thought that they might be going for first Roche, but instead, obviously this has gone the other way around. They've got the Dream Coil onto X. Coming in around from the back with the BKB is MS, going after Lanham, but he's got the borrowed time again. A hero you just can't burst, a hero you just can't kill with right clicks coming in. He's got that ability to heal up, he's got that ability to sustain in these fights. As they turn over onto Irving, they'll get the kill to the Beastmaster, he'll go over at MS after the BKB runs out. They get the double kill for Borax. Jiaofu low on mana, low on health, he gets run down eventually. Can only survive so long with the Glimmer Cape, however, it gets him out of range.
Blink, maybe? No, not going for
XSS?
Or is he?
Ooh. Thought about it, but John's back.
If that was Thompson, that would have been a dead Grimstroke.
I'm surprised they really just let him off the hook. Like,
yeah, I thought he was dead too.
But chasing also gives more time for the Beastmaster and the Ursa to come back. You can just go get Roche.
Yeah, just going the conservative route. Oh, Shaker wanted to blink in, potentially steal the Roche, but good awareness by Radiant there. I mean, he also just walked past 2 Dragon Knight illusions. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. He's like, they saw you from a mile away. There's no way you can just run and then blink.
And maybe you think your timings are there, but ultimately it ends up that's not the case.
Yep.
So obviously, Enigma goes to this Ghost Scepter, which we've already seen get purged.
Yeah, I mean, it's just against the TA. You can never die to TA alone. They do need the Necros on top of you, or maybe a Fissure Stun or something to get bursted.
My only point on that is, you know, it's
a very selfish item.
It's a bunch of gold that's not going towards BKB.
Yeah, or Blink Dagger. But now he finally picked up his Blink Dagger. As I said, like, all these items right now, they seem very selfish. Like, they don't really seem to think too much about the team, you know? More like about themselves. Like this Skadi pickup, this MKB pickup on the TA. His Ghost Scepter as well. they're all very like, you know, I can't trust them, I'll trust myself. Of course, that's not what's happening here.
Smoke
Smoking
immediately
into
broken.
the DK.
Yeah, White Album.
He has an AC, he's very tanky against his all-physical lineup.
And he's got Elder Dragon Form in just 5 seconds. They've got the Silence as well as the Primal Roar onto both the DK as well as the Phantom Lancer. That's going to break the Soulbind, but they've got the damage coming into White Album. They might be able to get the kill. The Stroke of Fate comes in, and now they'll finish off White Album with a Black Hole on the 3. No way to stop this at the moment until the Phantom's Embrace is finally off cooldown. They get the kill on the Borax. They'll take out 2 on the side of Aster with the Fissure coming in onto both this Phantom Lancer as well as the Abaddon. They go to the Echo Swim, but it misses. It misses Monet and only hits on Aladdin and does barely any damage. They get the kill on the Xiaofu, MS, as well as X. They'll take out Irving. Triple kill for Monet. It's another Echo Slam that just doesn't do the job, and Aster take advantage.
The massive black hole by Borax there, pretty much the reason why they won the fight. He gets Ursa as well as TA, which are the big damage dealers of their team. PL, they don't have enough damage to deal with them anymore because they blew all their load for the Dragon Knight, who is insanely tanky, sitting at 3.2k health, plus that AC.
Going into Ags next.
Yeah, he is just a menace to deal with, and if you have to like use all your spells to burst down a DK, you know, this PL will just, like, you have no damage left. You can't deal with him at all. He still has his Aegis up. Finally finishes the Fusel Blade too. So
while they're taking top set of racks.
Yeah. That should be just a free Rex. Don't think they can fight this one at all. And then they're probably just gonna do the same thing with another lane, probably mid lane. DK. Just using Dragon Form to farm some jungles.
Why not? Gets the Titan Sliver.
Probably gonna give that one to the PL, who is now pressuring the mid tower. And this is like the time where it's really tough to deal with this PL, you know. He has his Aegis timing, very strong with the Diffuser Blade, the back of the Abaddon. Coil.
Dream Coil. And the Waning Rift Silence on Irving. Stroke of Fate comes in and hits on the 3, but it's not going to matter. They get the kill on Irving, and now Monet, after those 2 deaths before, I believe, getting any kills, is now 4-2-1.
Yep. And that means no Beastmaster for 40, no buyback on him, no Echo Slam ready. They don't have the damage to deal with the Radiant push. They might have to concede another Rex here. They cannot fight without a Beastmaster.
Yeah, this is really tough. They don't have the Primal Roar to go with the Soulbind. Echo Slam on cooldown. Just a lot of their team fights out and about right now. So it's so hard to answer this Aster team, who is on the high ground and just pillaging your base. So MS moves forward, but look at the damage.
Oh.
He's trying to fight into this. He might just die here.
Yeah.
Again.
I know what he expected. Now he has no ult to work with for 50 seconds. Kind of like an anti-timing, because Beastmaster's alive, but you are not ready to fight. So they will have to concede another melee Rex.
Soulbind, Phantom's Embrace, Primal Roar. They're trying to go for this. The Soulbind now attaches over to the Abaddon and the DK. Monet sitting pretty low. Still has that Aegis, though. They've got the Disarm under the TA. There's the Fissure as well as the Totem. They'll pop the Aegis.
Black Hole up in 10.
And they need to be careful. Dream Coil on the backlines. They look over and stun MS, who pops the BKB, trying to man fight 1v2. And he just loses. He's standing in the Midnight Pulse. He'll go down. Dead for 50. Does have buyback as LBZS. They start to retreat back into the base while the Tier 4s are getting attacked by Team Aster. LBZS just consistently no answers at the moment. We're hoping to land a game-saving Echo Slam here, and it might show itself, but I don't know if it's even going to be enough damage. They get the Kona Irving. They look over at X. They've got the Fissure on a 2 Cat U. Now with the Totem, but the Black Hole comes in. This Phantom's Embrace will stop that. And now the Echo Slam comes down, but you just look at the damage it doesn't do. As Cat U will die and the GG is called. Game 1 going the way of Team Aster over LBZS. And little to no doubt in which way this game was going to go almost the entire time.
Yeah, I think the laning phase, especially the Dragon Knight against the TA, is a very big reason why it went that way. Puck also completely free against that Beastmaster. As we said, the two pace setters of the Radiant team are completely free farming, and they showed why that is so scary. DK was the frontlining, while Puck was killing the backline, and every team fight pretty much. They had one pretty bad hiccup in the mid lane, but other than that, they played a very, very solid game. Yeah, I mean, Aster showing why they're sitting at the top, and LBZS unfortunately also showing why they're at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, so Aster putting on a pretty good performance, 26-12, and it looked really good from them. Just the entire time, like you said, just free farming and moving around. Their pace setters were perfect. Like it looked really good for Aster. I mean, this is why they're top of the table right now.
Yeah, it's not really even. I mean, the draft was very iffy. You know, the laning they had was not the best either. It's just overall, it just seems like Aster is such a fluid unit. You know, like how do you stop a well-oiled machine? You know, like if you have so many cogs that are just getting caught up in each other, it's yeah. PL item build, not a fan.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. DK item build, no BKB, not a fan. But you know, maybe they had some fun experimenting a little bit. But get the job done.
Yeah. So Aster take game 1 over LBZS. They've got a 1-0 lead. To break it down even further, we've got ourselves a very handsome panel. Take it away, guys.
Oh, you do flatter us, Ben. Well, yes, we are indeed here to break down this game. I mean, well, breaking down the breakdown of LBZS, I guess, is the real thing here, guys. What happened?
Good laning stage against the, Aster. Dragonite won the mid lane, Puck won the top lane, and they tried to set up the lanes a bit differently. Worked out decently for them, but one thing I noticed is, like, you have Ursa, you have TA, both of these heroes, like, post 10-minute mark, they kind of want to be in the jungle. Like, TA always feels like she needs that item, doesn't want to join a fight. A lot of weird item decision-making in this game, where you have, like, Phantom Lancer skipping the Fusel Blade, trying to get it as a third item, MKB on TA before she gets into BKB first lens on Enigma, which I really liked. I like that one because he's playing into, Beastmaster, BKB piercing ability. Even if you get like a BKB, you're still gonna get roared. But yeah, good way of thinking coming out from Baboka here, and you can see the cast. Yeah, you can see the cast range here. Looks really well. I've never seen that before. Never thought about it. It's a cheaper. Let's say, like, you try to get Lincoln's BKB Blink, it's a lot of gold.
It's too much.
It's too much
for
gold
support,
to come online, and the timing that they're looking for in this game is, like, go ham early on.
Yeah, if you're a support, if you're a core, every time you're playing versus these heroes that can deal with your BKB Black Hole, you feel very bad. And especially as when you're a support, usually what I see players do is opt for full utility build, like Vlad's, Crimson Guard, Greaves. Yeah, but Baboka experimenting a little bit, going with that Aether Lens, and just actually making use of it.
I gotta say, it looks good. Sometimes things are in Dota for a very long time. You think you might seen everything, then someone, just starts picking Omni Knight 5, and everyone's like, how did we not think of that? It might be the case here, because it feels pretty good.
Yeah, analyzing it deeper, there's definitely ways to outplay it as a Beastmaster, approaching it from a different side, or maybe using Blink Dagger to deal with the Black Hole, but looked pretty solid here. Dragonite actually does fall, but Aster, they still find a way to win teamfight here as well. Aether Lens doesn't really help you versus Grimstroke as well, because he can silence you from long distance. So overall, they are just playing a little bit better, executing properly, and exploiting the fact that LBZS isn't really careful with all their spells and the way they use them. So,
talking about breaking the kind of common trends of item builds, what do we think about this TA going for the Deso MKB? She did get the blink first, right?
She did.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan. Like, you need a BKB on that hero. You don't buy a BKB. It's that simple. Like, TA, she needs a BKB. Like, either it's a third item, most likely it's third. That Blink Deso or Deso Blink into BKB, you must have it. You don't get a BKB, you pretty much can't play Dota. I don't think it would have. Sure, it wouldn't matter here. In this type of a game, you're also playing into BKB Enigma. Black Hole Enigma. So I can understand. He thinks BKB is not gonna save me here. I'll go ham. Probably go more on the damage department. In the end, it didn't really matter because they make so many more mistakes than the Aster, and in the end, it all ends up.
Yeah, you start the game. You look at CS score, and you see DK having 30 while TA has 13.
Yeah,
there's something wrong there. Like, okay, DK is a strong laner right now, but as a TA, you shouldn't be struggling that hard. Doubling your CS on a DK is not a thing that should be happening.
Dragonite is such an underused hero. Like, this hero has been popular in China. Dragonite has been picked when he was not picked in other regions. And he has so much potential. You get everything from this hero. You get good scaling. You have like damage reduction. You have tower damage. You have roche taking, whatever. You have a stun. Like this hero is just overall great. And I kind of like the first two items of Dragonite in this game. You know, getting a Falcon Blade for some extra mana regen, then getting Heaven's Halberd against to do physical cores, Ursa, and Templar Assassin. They don't play well into that. Also, taking Roche from these two heroes just feels really, really bad to be on the side of DA and Ursa.
Yep, and of course, because of all of that, XXS will be our MVP for this game number 1. Playing, of course. Good performance all around.
Had pretty solid moves in the early game, most especially, I would say, when he caught Shaker farming that dagger a couple of times. So overall, good performance in the laning stage later on in the game, eliminating the backlines first, which is what he's supposed to be doing. Made his game a little bit easier. There's no BKBs on the side of Team LBZS, but still solid performance by XSS.
I think the highlight for me of this game even was that 4-man coil on the high ground. That was beautiful. That was really beautiful. Unfortunately, the PL didn't escape there due to some unlucky doppelganger shenanigans, but that's how it be sometimes. That's how it be. Well, looking into game number 2, what are we trying to hope for from LBZS? I already know what you're going to say, Lizard. I can see your mouth.
Okay, tell me. What was I about to say?
You're about to say cheese, aren't you?
Really? Yeah. I love cheese. I actually wasn't thinking about that. I was more in this dark alleyway in which I can't see the way out for LBZS anymore. They've lost every single game. But when you're in the dark alleyway,
always a but.
There's always a but, and it's a cheese.
There's always cheese in a dark alleyway.
Smell your way out of the dark alleyway. That's what you need to do. Pick something extraordinary. So far, their drafts have been solid. They're top-ranked players. Pick a hero that's really in full comfort zone, and it's also very difficult to deal with. Don't go with the meta. That's the only way you take a game.
Yeah, I do feel it'd be a bit odd for them as the team with the sunshine happy face logo to then pick something like Brood or Huskar. But hey, you know what? Anything is possible. We're going to throw it over to a break, after which we shall be back with the second game in this best of 3 series. We'll see you soon. Hello and welcome back to the DPC Chinese region with Perfect World. My name is Nomad and joining me on the panel is Lizard and Lacoste as we jump in to game number 2. And we have a draft already live, so no messing around this time around. Sorry guys, no preamble today, we're straight into the picks.
Yeah, that's what I love, you know, just we don't care about some nonsense talk before, let's just hop in. You know, I'm just all about Dota.
We're the serious Slavic panel right here. That's what it's
Bratans.
all about. The Bratans. Yeah, LBZS, going back to the serious point, draft, they open up with Cat Use Earth Spirit. This is their full comfort zone, so they're falling back to that. No Earthshaker, no greedy for shenanigans. Let's pick something that's simple. Team Aster answer with Puck and Nyx Assassin. Yeah, you could see that even in Insania's interview. He said, yeah, things have changed, but have they really? Did the patch really impact?
Yeah, I don't think that's a big patch. This is one of the smallest patch we've seen. It's just some general changes about the heroes that seemed a bit too OP. Those heroes are still gonna be pickable. Usually when someone's OP for a very long time, you see Ice Frog just dumpstering him to the ground. You can't play the hero anymore, at least in competitive. So LBZS, they go with the Grimstroke Earth Spirit, a lot of silences to be able to control the Puck, Nyx Assassin. Okay, I don't mind, Grimstroke Earth Spirit is a strong opener. You want to say something, Lizard?
You're beautiful.
No, you want to? No, I was talking and you're like, maybe, there's something there.
I'm just agreeing with you, man. I'm just nodding my head in agreement. I'm like, yeah, solid opening. Grimstroke, Earth Spirit. You have that role with Inkswell. They cover each other's weaknesses. You have the Brawler. You have the Caster from the backlines. All looks pretty solid.
Yeah, these two supports, no matter what, they're good in the lanes. They scale well. I like this type of an opener. Even though you're showing your 4 and 5, you don't have many weaknesses. You have good wave clear with the Grimstroke, Earth Spirit, hero that can always go in, create chaos if things are not going well. Can rely on that position for to just do stuff. I love that's just simple Dota where you have that one hero that goes in. If things are not going well, we can rely on Earth Spirit that he can make the moves and make us a comeback.
Do you think there's a possibility, though, that this opening maybe lacks defensive potential at all?
Not necessarily. You have ways to react to that, a couple of silences, a stun, a kickback. So no, it's just overall a strong opener.
Buy an Aghanims, just turn them into a rock. That's also an option.
Just buy Aghanims shard and get level 25 and everything. No, usually games end around 30-minute mark, so we don't get to that point. But yeah.
One good thing as well from this Earth Spirit and Grimstroke is it opens up the way you can play offlane. Suddenly these solo laners become available, and Earth Spirits can dominate the mid lane a little bit more. Rotate there. You don't even have to counter Puck necessarily that hard. Instead, you just rotate on top of him with normal mid. And then you don't have to worry about this flex pick Puck by countering it with TA and putting yourself in a bad position.
We have not seen it in China, but we've seen it in other regions. It's a possibility that Grimstroke is also mid. He lanes well against the Puck. Mid Grim is actually so hard to play into. These heavy nukes, the stuns, the way he controls the lane, attack animation. This hero has a ton of potential, something that Dobson played for a while, kind of stopped, but has a lot of potential.
Put Dobson aside, I'm winning with Grimstroke mid. If I'm winning it with Grimstroke mid, anyone can.
That means the
hero is completely busted. But here you go, some more synergy coming from LBZS. Mana burn really isn't the problem for Wraith King. Nyx Assassin isn't a problem. They go with this Grim plus...
Blimey.
Okay. Grim, Wraith King, I love a lot.
Faster, Lizard. Go.
Oh, and we have the Mars Phoenix combo, the most played combo across all regions. However, Mars in the Chinese region does not fare really well, as it has only 13 to 18% win rate, even though 39% win rate, even though he's been picked around 18 times. So, not looking that great, but overall, Puck, Phoenix, Mars, the best trio that you can really ask for.
Impressive stuff, Lizard. Thank you very much.
All good.
Cost? Anything you didn't cover there which you want to...
What about this Doom?
No, it's just too fast for me, I need this to go a bit more slow to be able to react to everything.
The new standard of analyzing we're opening up here? Rap God analysis?
Yeah, is Owen going to be the best panelist ever? It just comes in here, riffs it out.
Doesn't matter what you're saying, as long as you're saying it fast enough.
Yeah. So yeah, Doom, I was talking to Black, I believe yesterday, that this hero has like a lot of potential. Where like you just take out one hero out of the equation, like no matter who it is. Usually it's considered as a counter to certain heroes, like a Raid King. Raid King is a counter to Doom. Sorry, but yeah, Doom overall, just you do one guy, and if you have a good catch, which you do with the Earth Spirit, once Raid King gets a Blink Dagger, so you always have this like 4 versus 5 pretty much once you use a good Doom.
Yep. Okay, so what are the problems and issues why we're not seeing Doom? He's been nerfed a lot. Second, his laning stage was never his forte. His laning stage was always a little bit difficult unless you find the right creep or you're a position 4. As a position 4, you're a little bit more free. You can go into the jungle, find that wolf, come back in, slap some heroes, but if you don't, suddenly
I
it's
have a
very
big
difficult.
question mark right now. Like mid Doom, he doesn't lose lane. Like he loses lane to like Monkey. He loses lane to Viper. Dead Prophet. But other than that, like mid Doom still very viable. I just don't. I want this to be mid Doom because the off lane Doom doesn't put any pressure at all on the enemy safe laner.
That's so true, but all those good creeps that he used to eat have been leveled up, and now you need higher levels. So it's like you used to dominate the lanes, and that's why it was so viable. Now you can't
he's
even
a completely
do that.
different hero. Yeah, he doesn't dominate his lane at all. So you kind of have if that's an off lane Doom, your safe lane should be pretty safe in terms of like getting pressured. Ursa,
So
yeah, that's why it's called safe lane. Yeah,
he's a handshake hero, right? Like he says, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get farm. You're gonna get farm. Let's just do a thing.
Just a bro thing. Gentleman's agreement. Ursa is still in the pool, so that's a possibility for Team Aster.
I'm just looking at these artsy images. Do we have a Doom in a suit, perhaps, in Perfect World's esports Dota lane?
I don't. I think there's a different graphic which has Doom in a suit. Maybe I'm mistaken about that, but yeah. No,
look at what Team Aster banned. So they banned out TA and Darkseer. So they're kind of covering themselves in both departments.
Yeah, Darkseer good with Earth Spirit, TA good on mid, and they go with the Arc. This Team Aster's draft looks invincible. It's so difficult to win against this.
You're so our coordinate expert. Is it good?
So far, it's great. You have so much control from these 4 frontliners. The team fight potential is insane on Team Aster. Arc Warden isn't pressured by any of these heroes overall in the game. It looks very simple.
They have no egg hitters whatsoever, so that's also one of the downside of the LBZS lineup. If it's a mid Doom against the Arc Warden, like both of the heroes are gonna farm you on pressure until you get to level 6, and you can prepare for that. You see when you are close to level 6 on Arc Warden, you bring one hero, Doom pops the ulti, stun from Nyx Assassin, Doom gone. You're free to farm for another 2+ minutes.
Easy peasy. Final pick for LBZS.
So they have multiple problems they have to deal with right now. You need a hero that deals well with the Arc. You can say that Raid King with Swift Blink later on can match up, but it's hard to get there versus such a teamfight composition of Aster. And you need a hero that gets on top of Puck and Phoenix. So you need something that has high reach, playmaking potential.
Catcher.
Yeah, big catcher. All those big catchers are usually countered by Puck. So we might see some Void Spirit, some Storm, anything like that, but it's so difficult to play them into Puck and Nyx. So Pango actually, all right.
Okay.
Not great into Dream Coil overall, but
does it solve their problems?
It's mid Doom, like
because
versus Puck, right?
Like you don't want to give a free farm to, and it's mid Puck safe lane Arc Warden. Like they were all once again very flexible on Team Aster, and how they could set up their lanes. Pango, a hero that can mess up with the Arc Warden. They have no BKB piercing abilities until there's an Axe Puck. So gonna take a while, but
it's a pretty big
still favoring Aster.
And to go back to what Lacoste said about this matchup of Doom on mid lane, Doom versus Puck is actually really strong for Doom. At least before Puck was broken, Doom would dominate. I remember Iceberg playing versus Thompson, just dumpstering him. Thompson went 0-7 on his Puck, so it's possible.
Let me hear those predictions, though, guys.
I'll go with Aster. They have like a good lane setup once again. They have a nice scaling lineup, a lot of uncontrollable damage on LBZS. Doom, Raid King, if he picks up Radiance, Earth Spirit, like Nyx Assassin is just going to have a really good time with the Carapace.
Okay.
Same, I'm a fan of this Arc Warden. Monet is going to have a blast. This looks like such an easy Arc Warden game to play.
I've learned my lesson from last time. I'm going to have to go with Aster again. They just kind of outclassed them last game, and it feels like they're going to do the same thing in game number 2. But let's bring in our cast and find out what they think. Beak Up and Black, what say you about game number 2?
You want to go first? Oh, okay. He says Aster. You sure about that one?
Yes.
You want to take any time to think about it?
No, because I agree with my boy Dom.
Mm-hmm. Got the connection?
Of course.
Yeah.
Before you even said it, I knew it already.
Okay.
Because I know him well. Better than most.
Very well. We don't want to know about how well you know him. Ben, what about you?
You know, I read the wins, and I went with Aster.
Wins very chatty today. All right.
Yeah, very chatty. Very loud.
Thank you very much. Take it away, Beak Up and Black, for game number 2.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, coming into game number 2, Aster against LBZS. We saw Aster pretty much wire-to-wire win. So it was a pretty good job from Aster overall. You know, LBZS, they need to really work on some things there. But I don't know. Aster, they look strong. They've looked strong. And I'm trying to figure out how do you beat this team? Especially if you're LBZS.
I don't know if they were playing like 100% seriously last game, you know, or not. But if they itemize in the way they did last game against a team like IG, perhaps, you know, it could become very scary because all of them really went for very like selfish items, you know. Kind of felt more like a pub game. They were just trying to have some fun, you know. Which ultimately, of course, if you outskill an enemy by that much, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they went with these weird kind of builds, these different builds in a DPC game, and that's just what the confidence of how much better they think they are than this team.
It's possible. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking, how seriously they approach these games, because, like, I mean, as Papi said in an interview in EU, he was like, you have to take every game 100% seriously because one misstep can cost you a spot at the major.
Yeah.
We have seen that with TNC, you know. They dropped a series to execration, and that might end up biting them in the butt. So you can't really afford to take anyone lightly at all, ever, in this kind of format.
Right. So I think we're waiting on a bit of a pause. We might bring the handsome panel back in here.
Panel, you are summoned.
We have summoned you. Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Soon, soon.
We're waiting. We got to set things up. We got to get some candles down, get the symbols ready, and summon the panel. Bring them here. We are summoning the panel back into their chairs. You're struggling there. Have you never done a panel summon before?
I suddenly felt this mental pressure.
Okay.
Like as if they were talking to me, but I couldn't receive the message.
Yeah, well, that happens. You disconnect from your fellow Dom.
Yes, I'm more of a doer rather than a thinker. You're the thinker between us two, you know. Like you tell me what to do. Like Alchemist, I would be the ogre. You would be the guy on top.
Yeah. Okay. So I would be the little guy making the potions.
And you would feed me the potions, basically.
Okay.
Oh, as we say that, 5-man smoke, LBZS going after high ground, but they're also 5 here waiting for them.
Oh, God. 2-man stun from Lanham. MS.
Bye.
Well, they get the kill there on MS. A good way to start for Aster. Unfortunately, our summoning powers are just not good enough.
I mean,
to bring in the pound. We don't even, you know.
Ultimately, we don't need them, you know.
I wasn't going to say it out loud. I was just thinking it.
I know, but that's what I'm here for, you know. Like, you are the smart guy. I'm the guy that conveys the message in a not-so-smart way.
Yeah, the break room's going to be tense when we come back. I didn't say it, guys. I need you guys.
But also, I look a lot more intimidating than you.
Look at the 3 or 4 spark rates on the
You're not getting that rune.
No. You better not forget about it.
As I said, he just walks in and tanks all of them. They have 3 heroes here.
Yeah, they're trying to tank him, swashbuckle in. Monet in a little bit of trouble, but another 2-man stun coming up from Lanham, and they'll get the kill on a Monet. So now both hard carries have fallen, and it looks like Lanham's going to die too.
Yeah.
Man, this is all of a sudden 2 kills for LBZS. If they can catch him, oh, that's 3 for 3 on 2-man stuns.
Yep. If he dodges the roll, he lives.
Oh. Can he dodge it? No! On the roll, on the bounty rune too.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to dodge because you obviously do want to secure the bounty rune. They end up with 3 bounty runes, so it's not the worst trade. They don't get any blocks in the lanes. The support is going to come late to the bot lane, to a Wraith King who already died first blood. So overall, not the worst thing that can happen. Obviously not what you want, you know, but Yeah, this mid lane should be Doom just completely free farming. Puck does not put out enough damage to harass him out of lane ever.
But we said that last matchup where we thought TA was going to have a good time, and White Album is just showing that he's the better player, and
Sure.
you know, was doubling CS.
Yeah, I mean, Puck is a hero you can definitely have some outplays on. It's just Doom is a very simple hero. You know, you eat creeps, you have HP regen, and you farm. That's really all you do. And then later on, you are very good to Doom that Puck, of course. I quite like Arc Warden against Doom in general because obviously you don't ever want to Doom a clone. That makes absolutely no sense. So it's one of the better heroes against Doom. And just overall, the team fight is going to be very hard. You have the arena, you have the bubble to worry about, the Phoenix Egg. Lots of positional abilities from the Dire team. Even Dream Coil as well, Nyx Assassin. It's just a very obnoxious line to play against.
Oh, Spear lands.
Damage.
And MS taking a lot of damage, still moving forward. Borax thinking about maybe continuing to put the pressure on MS, who pops that salve. Yeah, there's a lot of combos on both these teams. You've got double Doom with the Soulbind and the Doom. Yeah, that's a classic. Then you've got even Dream Coil with the Spear to break it.
Yeah.
You know, Dream Coil, getting Arena down, Spear, breaks the coil, slams him into the wall.
Yeah, potentially an Earth Spirit that can cause a lot of chaos. I mean, both lineups do have the potential to win team fights, of course, but just Aster looked pretty unstoppable lately, so
yeah,
there's nothing in me that makes me believe that they shouldn't take this game.
Oh, Nyx Assassin up towards top, taking a lot of damage. Lanham on the run.
One more hit.
Cat-U diving in forward, and Lanham might be able to stay nearby and potentially get another stun, but the roll comes out. The Spike Carapace hits on a both. Both these heroes low on Aster. Swashbuckle comes in, and it'll secure the double kill for Irving, taking out both Monet and Lanham, and he just pops the salve. He'll stay in lane.
Yeah, the laning prowess from LBZS coming through again. We have seen it time and time again.
Fire Blast, Inkswell, avoided with the Spear.
Good play there. It's a pretty strong lane, Mars Phoenix.
Yeah.
And despite all that, still in the lead, net worth-wise.
Yeah, 4-1.
Yeah, interesting.
And a little bit of a net worth lead there for Aster. It seems like Mars does really well with a lot of heroes. Like the combinations that are viable in this lane feel really good. And the Spear, it gets the kill there onto MS. And they almost get 2.
That was, yeah, I mean, bot lane is an absolute destruction there. I mean, at least top lane, you know, Arc Warden gets like a little bit of farm out. Even that lane is not the easiest for Arc Warden anymore because they did feed away quite a bit of kills. 4 in total already. So they will probably have to rotate some heroes over in due time just to give that Arc Warden a little bit of a better time. Because in the end, he still is a winning condition. But yeah, to your point, Mars is just overall a very strong hero. A lot of nuke power, a lot of damage, a lot of survivability because of high strength gain. Repositioning abilities, 2 of them. It's just, he doesn't really have a weakness, to be honest, in the laning phase. You can secure every range creep with either a Spear or a Rebuke. It's a great hero. Room coming out. Top. Earth Spirit picked up a D. They need to be really careful top.
Yeah, again, they might end up going down. Or maybe even go after the puck. White Album had taken a lot of damage earlier. Maybe X feels confident enough to go for this.
They have to be careful. Like, one lucky shot plus a DD Earth Spirit hitting you is a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Double force. Roll.
Yeah, there's the roll in. Spike Carapace with a 2-man stun. Again, Lanham just constantly landing the 2-man, but it's not going to matter as, well, Irving is dominating.
Huh.
I must admit,
Pangolier is one of those offlaners with a good start. He can take over games all by himself pretty much. And Spear, what? There was such a good play.
Stun out on the Borax. MS, though, still dealing with XXS. Inkswell, that's going to pop onto the Mars.
Be up in 2, though.
Yeah, Icarus dive across MS, and now God's Rebuke. Can he get the Spear? It'll land again. It's the second time he's pushed Xiaofu onto MS.
And a full bottle of Mars. Ooh. With a bounty room to refill it as well. Man, very disappointing. There was such a good play by Radiant. I don't know if people caught it, but he threw out a spear that would have stunned the Wraith King, but they ate the tree that the spear would have latched onto. So the spear doesn't latch onto anything. Basically, like, making that spear useless. And then they just run in and die anyway. So a good play turns into a little bit of a laugh.
Yeah. Roll out on Lanham again.
He has to be careful.
Kind of getting bullied right now.
Lucky shot.
Swashbuckle, disarm, now
double.
Back to back. Yeah.
Oh, the neutral stomp.
He's okay with that. Give it up to the neutral.
Talentless. I hate that one. That always gets me.
Is that a tilting one?
Yes.
Dream Coil.
Coil.
Over mid. Sunray Doom burning out pretty hard. They've got the silence of Wuzuru. Do they have the damage though? He's low. Icarus diving. Swell. That will potentially land on a 1, and that one will be Borax.
Doom was about to come out. Like his hands were up in the air already. Hands up. But didn't work. Because animation is very long. Yeah. If that Doom goes out on the puck, he's dead as well. Very close call there. But do end up making it happen. You can see that Doom is very, very, very tanky.
What's the longest cast animation?
Of anything?
Yeah. Is it Doom?
Doom is definitely up there. Probably. From ultimate abilities at least. He's very slow.
Yeah.
But not if you get the Arcane Blink. Then he's very fast.
Arcane Blink on even Ravage is disgusting.
Oh, Doom's the real Arc Warden.
He's only Arc Warden at the moment, only level 5. Can they get the deny? No. Can't get the deny. Irving now.
No coil. There was a wasted TP as well. Irving
no
only.
reason to really come over. The arena used. They've got this kill onto MS. At least both hard carries are struggling if you're a fan of Aster.
I mean, he's struggling even more than the Arc Warden, which is very, very surprising. He has 100 less net worth than Arc Warden. And Doom also, what? He's 1,000 net worth behind puck. I just saw that.
Wow.
How did that happen? Like, you get so much gold naturally just by eating creeps. White Album really, like, outplaying him in the second game in a row.
Random. Stunned. Hit with a stroke of 8.
Well,
Our neutral's going to take his life again.
Yep, 0-5.
Swell gets away from it. Out spike Carapace. Maybe spoke too soon. 0-5? 0-5.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, 0-5.
Yeah, Lanham having a little bit of a rough one here, but the team still... They're up 2k gold now. What? The save, they got destroyed so hard, and they're just up 2k gold. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
on the back of White Album again as well.
That and XSS. He's...
I mean, the bot lane is definitely owning. It's just, I don't know how this puck got so much more to the lane than Doom.
Yeah.
Who just naturally gets like 100 gold per creep that you eat. On top of the CS. I mean, this Mars is going to be a menace. And so is the Pangolier. We'll have to see which of the offlaners is going to be able to do more. Although Mars is 1,000 ahead. Of the Pangolier even. Who has 5 kills.
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible. Math is not my strong suit, as you guys have been able to tell throughout the 2 weeks.
You're not the only one, don't worry.
I was top percentile for a long time, but that's not anymore. Jeez, White Album jumping in aggressive just to die to the stroke of fate of Zhao Fu, and well, Borax was right behind him, so they'll both die.
Yeah, another very good play by Pangolier though. As you said, Puck overestimating himself a little bit. And they'll have to make sure to make good use of that Mars now, who is now TPing top. But they saw him.
And Nyx Assassin's here again.
Arena Spear.
Well, Adam, two-man stun again. And now they've got the Arena as well as the Spear Soulbind keeping them close. Can you at least get the
Double Doom?
Double Doom comes in as the rotation's out from X. And let's see. Ooh, missing the stun, but can't get the deny. Now
Silence up.
Look over as Silence hits on a White Album with the Phantom's Embrace, jaunting away. Aster maybe overplaying their hand, or overplaying their confidence.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't spear the Pangolier, to be honest, who was impaled by the Nyx Assassin, because that would have resulted in a kill. And the Pangolier is worth a lot right now. Like, you need to stop that guy. He's making too many plays for the Radiant team. That being said, though, Arc Warden did finish his Midas, and we all know how fast an Arc Warden Midas can farm. Now sitting at the Doom's net worth.
And he's starting to catch up.
Yeah. Let's see how they play the Arc Warden, whether it's going to be a more defensive or offensive style. Coil
used, but again, it's
White
defensive.
Album.
White Album
caught out again.
From
0 to 0.
Yeah, seriously, game 1, game 2, 0 to 0.
I mean, he played amazingly in the laning phase, but post laning phase this game, rotations have been questionable, yes, and he's getting caught out quite a bit. Maybe a little bit cocky. You know, maybe. Who knows?
Have a performance like that, you might end up feeling a little bit too cocky. Who knows?
Nyx level 6 now, they're trading towers, and suddenly the 2k gold lead.
Is gone.
Even.
Yeah.
Even game. Even Steven.
Great show. MS over bottom, just trying to farm. Lanham's here, XSS without the Blink Dagger yet. He's so close to the Midas. Oh no, if he dies here,
he has ult,
it's going to slow him down. He'll die for the first time. Can they get him a second time?
Nope.
Wraithfire Blast is out with the Rolling Thunder. Massive rotation from LBZS. They know how important keeping alive this Wraith King is.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of time and ults expended to just foreign reincarnation. Definitely not worth it. Like their moves around the map right now are not very crisp. Aster's, that is. LBZS is doing a good job at, you know, regaining the momentum. They're doing very well. Wraith King now finishes Midas.
You don't think that was an overcommitment though from LBZS to bring 4 over?
I mean, it was, but at the same time, there were also 3 there, so it's understandable, you know. Probably if they just brought like 2 or 3, would have also been enough. And I could have used the others around the map more efficiently, but no, they're all in on that Wraith King. He is the winning condition overall, so.
Yeah, now he's got that Midas.
Yeah, better be safe than sorry. But yeah, this Arc Warden is gonna be scary if they leave him alone in the triangle for too long.
Yeah, for sure. So, MS, at least for right now, trying to maintain some stability in where he is in the net worth. He's sitting bottom 5. LBZS go to the 3-man smoke. Let's see if they can find anybody. Walking up on the high ground as the Nyx Assassin breaks the smoke, goes into the Vendetta. He's dusted, silenced, in some trouble. Supernova comes out into a great spot. I don't even know if they'll get this kill onto the Nyx Assassin. Spike Carapace, Supernova goes off, and in too far is X. Xiaofu dropping a White Album, 2 kills there for Aster.
Yep, Aster was ready for that. Nyx broke the smoke, and the entire team is ready to collapse. They fought inside a Supernova. They do kill the Nyx again, who's now sitting at 0-8, but yeah.
Lanham's playing sacrificial. He may be 0-8, but he's still almost got as much net worth as Cat U.
Yeah, he's doing his job. He's going for Falcon Blade while being 0-8 on a +5 Nyx. Okay. That's all I have to say. Okay.
Don't copy that build in my pubs.
Unless you want to be Overwatch cased by me.
Griefing, guilty. I had a guy in my game yesterday, Hoodwink, build Shark. Silence, Doom, all coming down on a White Album.
Goodbye, Puck.
And Puck will be denied.
Nice.
Lanham making up for the 08.
Agent L. 0-8, but always gets the deny on the team. This is the second one.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, they don't get much from killing it. Kick in.
XSS now in some trouble. Sunray on him, trying to keep him healthy. He's actually getting healed up quite a bit. Coming in is Irving with the Rolling Thunder, I believe.
Wow, yeah, the Maelstrom proc.
He is going to go down there, and that was, I think, Vendetta hit as he tried to roll away. They've also got Jiao Fu.
Yeah, and then the Maelstrom hit, or rather the Arc Warden hit, followed him for like 5 seconds and proc the Maelstrom. But yeah, Arc Warden now. Maelstrom, Midas completed, going to the Travels next, and he's just sitting in the triangle, making it his new home.
Going to the Boots of Travel.
They need to start invading this. Probably without the Wraith King, he wants to farm his Radiance, but they need to stop this Arc Warden from just farming this triangle for as long as he wants to.
Not sure they can at the moment.
It's tough, especially against Puck. You know, Nyx is always there to scout. Mars Arena, scary. He has a Blink Dagger now. Puck, 100 gold away from his Blink. Once those 2 Blinks are online, Scary Town.
I don't really like being in Scary Town.
Yeah, Scary Town is a scary place to be in.
Hence the name.
Exactly.
So 2K lead here for Aster. Glimmer Cape for Jiao Fu. You've got Blink Dagger finally finished off for White Owl.
Yep, smoked up here with the Mars Blink Dagger. Vendetta up in 5, so they're probably going to wait for that. Supernova Arena, of course, one of the most potent combos in Dota. And they might just run into a teamfight that they really want here. They do have a sentry down, though, so Nyx will be spotted immediately.
I don't know if they have vision on him at the moment.
Oh,
They've
the
got
arena whiff.
Missing on Zhao Fu. They'll follow that up with an Impale Supernova. It's around these heroes. They may not be able to kill it. I don't think they're going to be able to kill it. They got the Dream Coil just in time. Borax, Lanham, they both fall, but you've lost 3 heroes on the side of LBZS. You lose XXS.
They still have Doom.
Ooh, that was only the reincarnation, so Wraith King alive again. Doom used. White Album gone. 4 heroes dead on Aster in a little bit of a botched team fight.
Yeah, Aquad. I feel like if they want to make that move, he needs to be able to join that team fight. Because if he's there with this clone, I think the team fight is going to go a lot better. We have a lot more damage while everybody's focusing the egg. And yeah, I mean, we can see the team fight here again. A whiffed arena on everybody. I thought the egg was amazing, but they just got the kill on it. It was about to pop. And if that egg pops, the team fight looks completely different. But the way it stands, the whiffed arena really was too big of a deal.
So close.
Yeah, very, very close.
That wins them the team fight if that goes off.
For sure. I mean, I think they have multiple conditions. First condition is Arc Warden is there to join them. Second one, that egg pops. And of course, the arena was a big blunder, to say the least. Like, you have Blink Dagger, you should not be able to, you know, whiff that hard.
We've seen this a lot from Arc Wardens, though, where they're just so farming oriented, and they don't come into these fights. And then at the end of the day, we watch these Arc Wardens having to defend the high ground instead of pressuring in a spot where they might feel strong.
Yeah, but also every time an Arc Warden was successful was when he did not just farm, but joined his team in those fights. Which I hope he's going to do now that he has the travels at least. Because there's a reason you have a clone, you know? You are double as strong in a team fight. Don't just keep farming. That's not how the hero is designed, you know? But yeah, we'll see what he does. Monet is a very capable player, but not everybody is very comfortable on Arc Warden. It's a very, very special kind of hero. It's not your everyday carry. BKB picked up on Doom. Very, very strong timing for him. They have pretty much nothing that goes through BKB this game, other than the Supernova. So, perfect item for him. Wraith King went for an armlet rather than straight Radiance.
Did he have Radiance queued up at one point?
He did, he did. I don't know if I like that, because his team's giving him a lot of space. Doom! He did not manage to BKB it off!
Wow.
He just got speared.
And then they use the Soulbind. This is really defensive from Zhao Fu. They've got the leash on 2 of these heroes with that Soulbind, but it doesn't look like Zhao Fu will survive the onslaught that follows. So Monet, he gets involved for a little bit, gets a kill.
Yep, and it should be a pretty free mid tower. They still have arena available as well. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be ready to pop that BKB as soon as you see that Mars Spear fly out.
Yeah,
it's not easy, but you gotta be able to do it. Otherwise, they will just burn you down like they have here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
3K lead now.
Philosopher's Stone for maybe Lanham. If
Probably
he wants to pick that up, where
Falcon
he's just
Blade?
been Falcon Blade 0.
Falcon Blade into Aghanim's.
Or 1, 9, and 7. All right.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go through with Aghanim's purchase.
Technically, he's 2, 9, and 7. You gotta deny.
He got 2 denies actually.
Okay, so he's 3, 9, and 7.
Yes, very, very efficient team player here.
Does that show on the scoreboard? Denies?
No,
Hero
it does not.
denies? That should.
It should.
I
also
it's
think
an
should.
obscure stat.
I also think it should show how many seconds you stun people for, like a disable stat.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
But it doesn't.
Because that's something to talk about too.
Yeah.
Disable time.
It is.
Stun time, silence time. I'd like to
Smoke
see
up
it.
again by 4 here from Radiant, all except the Wraith King. Just rolling in. Okay, for that bounty rune timing, of course. Pangolier picked up the Blink Dagger.
Middle tower has been denied.
Next Assassin going.
Radiant's
Falcon
top tower
Blade.
is under attack.
And they run away from the rune. Huh?
Okay.
Dire's bottom tower
I
is
guess
under
Wraith King
attack.
picking up one.
Radiant's
That is so
top tower
risky,
is
but
under
not a bad play, not a bad idea. Like, Wraith King is posturing very aggressively, and they get 4 bounty runes.
Wow. So Aster.
They're
very
scared.
Well, yeah, scared and loose on. Well, I mean, getting any bounty runes.
Yeah. 4 bounty runes is a big deal at this point. It was a 2K net worth switch shift instantly.
Getting deeper and deeper into the game where they are worth more and more.
Yep. Mars working on his BKB.
Have the Mjolnir here for Monet. I think there was a glimpse of hope that he's going to get involved in these fights with that transition into the mid lane, where he helped out over mid. They got the kill onto the Doom. Doom now has a Blink Dagger, so probably securing the double Doom almost definitely.
Roll in on the Mars. He has no BKB, no defensive tool.
Yeah, kicking the Magnetize, and now the Geomagnetic Rip. They'll use the Doom. They're using a lot to get this kill here on to the Mars. They'll bring over the Tempest double, trying to do as much damage as it can. Meanwhile, over mid, they'll focus their attention on MS. Spike Carapace. They'll take the first life. They don't have Dream Coil to work with. Supernova in the backlines if anybody wants to move forward, and they might. Irving is in a pretty bad spot. He gets stunned up by the Supernova. They've got the stun on the 2 with the silence onto the Pangolier. They'll get the kill on Irving, take away his 10 times speed. That goes to Monet. Whoa, Nelly.
Best target, or rather best hero to get it on for the Aster side, and worst for LBZS. He's now sitting over 2k net worth ahead of the Wraith King. They did not invade his triangle at all.
Yeah.
He was just left to his own devices forever pretty much since the laning phase. And it's really showing why Arc Warden farms so fast. Like it's a very scary hero if you just leave him like that. And Wraith King did not go for a scaling item build. He went Armlet into Hyperstone into Blink Dagger. Alright, maybe he has some new tech here that we don't know about, but usually when there's a standard build for a hero, it's a standard build for a reason, because it is the most efficient one.
Yeah.
And Radiance this game, they have a Nyx Carapace, sure, but it's still the most efficient item for Wraith King to both farm and teamfight with. So I'm not sure why he opted to not go for it. Don't like it. And he would just keep falling further and further behind his Arc Warden now. Like now they're on a timer. They put themselves on a timer.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's 4k behind.
Yeah, and just because of his item build. He could have had a Radiance almost twice already.
Yeah, so a lot of troubles. Tempest double. That's good bump. 300 gold right there.
Yep. He's actually going into an Aghanim Scepter on Lanham.
Yeah.
The guy's a madman.
Dude, Philosopher's Stone is all the farm he needs.
Yeah.
He does have, what, 36 last? No,
14.
14 last hits.
Yeah, very farmed.
1, 9, and 7.
Mars picked up his BKB.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Cat used spotted, Dream Coil used.
No
He'll snap
response
it. Yeah, well, that's just making it a little bit easier for White Album, who continues to recover in this game, almost catching up to the Doom.
Yeah. I like how Aster plays around this clone. Like they're always with the clone pretty much. And that's one way to play with Arc Warden, you know? Like if you don't want to join with the real hero, just make sure that the team plays around the clone, because heroes obviously always want to kill the clone. He split pushes, he's very annoying. But if there's one Nyx there, suddenly you die, because that clone deals a lot of damage.
Yeah.
However, they still have the threat of double Doom that can always be a game winner. We just have to, you know, like see it being used once, like where it's really effective, you know. We have seen it once, but it was kind of like one fight already. Small initiation here on Mars. There's also a nasty combo, the Disarm and the Phantom's Embrace.
Yeah, that is... those combos are just really kind of gross.
Yeah. Really subtle, but when you think about it, kind of gross. Puck went for Dagon rather than just protecting his Arc Warden with like an Aghanims. Interesting choice. Doesn't strike me as a great Puck Dagon game, but we'll see what he can
Radiant's bottom tower
make happen with it. Yeah.
I would love to see Nyx Assassin go shard, but that's just me.
Me too. I'm surprised he did. It's like one of the best shots in the game. Another smoke up here. They're desperately looking for the combo, for the double Doom, but Aster's not giving it to them. Bot lane getting pressured in a lot. Tower half health.
I'm pretty sure they saw each other. BKB that comes out from both XSS as well as
Fake Doom.
the Doom.
Yeah, they're just looking at each other. We are both golden statues.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom
He faked the Doom. He knows if he dooms him, nothing really come of it. And same thing, you can't really arena. But now Doom doesn't have BKB, they're smoking up right away. Mars without BKB is much more effective than Doom without BKB. And they're just hitting Roshan on Radiant, it's very risky. They can't do this. No way.
Yeah, this one's really tough.
Skadi finished also on the Arc Warden. He's massive at this point.
Showing Monet's efficiency with the Midas, 91%. It had been on cooldown for a total of 86 seconds.
could be better. Could be better, you know? Like when he watches a replay, could have been faster here, could have been faster there. Whoa, that was very close with that spear.
I wonder what the average is, like 94% or something like that.
Probably below 90, to be honest. Like, most people are not very efficient with that minus. Yeah, they're like, I have it, gives me attack speed. Oh, it's off cooldown. Yeah, maybe I'll use it.
Ooh, stun coming out of the Doom. Dagon now. They've got the soul bind. Can they get the Doom off? Yes,
Double
they
Doom.
can. There it is. They get the kill onto X to start it off, but they get the kill on a White Album as well.
Not a deny.
Ooh, deny from XXS. MS moving forward, knowing that BKB, 9 seconds about to run out. The arena as well as the spear, but they got the stun with the Rolling Thunder coming in. Arcor didn't do anything about this. They get the first life out of the hands of the Wraith King. Borax has Supernova, but immediately MS focuses his attention on that. God's Rebuke! Oh, again, a fraction of a second from going off. And that causes now XXS to die. Monet a little bit far back in that engagement. I think if he maybe moves forward when they're trying to take the egg, that goes maybe a lot more wrong for LBZS.
He still ends up getting the Grimstock. He was completely zoned by the Pangolier. It was a very good play by Irving. He single-handedly zoned him, basically. He made him use his clone. Oh, Lanham might be in trouble here again.
Trying to line up that two-man stun.
Just dead.
Boulder Sash only gets one.
Yeah. They have to be careful how they take these fights, because they were 2 heroes down. Even though they killed the Doom, he still got his Doom off.
Yeah,
and
just
you can't just fight 3v4. Arc Warden is strong, but he has to fight on his terms. Irving really shut him down in that fight. It was very well played by the Pangolier. If he's not doing what he did, probably they'll lose the fight on the Radiant, because that Arc Warden puts out a lot of damage if left unchecked. Might want to think about a BKB, honestly, in that Arc Warden, just so this Pangolier is not a problem at all. Even when he rolls, you can just kill him with double BKB.
Ooh, Spear connects. XSS comes in after White Albums here. Dream Coil, BKB, no Ags on White Album, so he walks away.
He could have had an Axe already instead of the level 2 Dagon. I really think it would have been a much better purchase, would have resulted in another kill right there. Because they are going to build multiple BKBs. It's never a bad item, you know. Puck Aghanims got nerfed slightly, half a second less stun, but it's still 4 seconds.
They're getting BKBs on a bunch of these heroes. Earth Spirit
has one. He has his. Doom has his. Wraith King will ultimately itemize into one. Even Pangolier is going for one. Like, you need to get that Aghanims on Puck.
I'm really shocked he doesn't have it, or he's not going for it.
Yeah, same.
Nyx Assassin, meanwhile, still going for that Axe. Has the point booster.
It has to be like a meme or something that I don't know of. Falcon Blade into Axe on a +5 Nyx Assassin.
I'm telling you, when you said that X Nova said that somebody builds Falcon Blade every game, I thought it was Lanham.
I mean, it must be, from what I'm seeing here.
When you said it on stream, I was just like, I think Lanham does it. Because then I think of the game right after that, he did build it. And I was just like, we see it all the time. Did he build one last game?
I didn't check, actually. Possibly. 5-man smoke here from Radiant. Are they really going to get anything? They are putting down wards. They definitely saw it on dire side, so smoke has been given away. Clone? Jumping past the clone on Lanham again.
Yeah, Lanham still getting bullied. White Album thinking about going in with BKB being popped here by X.
112.
Zhao Fu taking a lot of damage from the Tempest double. Ooh, XSS jumps in. He won't pay for that aggression.
Yeah. This is when Arc Warden starts becoming really damn obnoxious.
Dream Coil.
A White Album kill?
Coming through
Pangolier
and get the
here.
kill on Irving.
Interesting.
Not a bad move
Power of the Dagon coming in.
Arena coming through. They don't have BKB available on X. Now the Silence, Icarus dive, and damage done onto the Doom to get the kill. 8k lead here for Aster.
Yep.
They can go for Roche off this, right?
Arc Warden is just too much to deal with right now. Like, they can't jump him, but they also can't ignore him.
This is the first Doom that didn't really give him anything.
Yeah, the Doom went on the Mars. They are jumping on Mars right now. No BKB available.
Yeah, XXS might have some distance. Ooh, getting so far away. Sunray committed from Borax. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. Cat U. He dies. Magnetize was used, and now they've got MS by himself.
Impale ready.
First
See
life
if he can
gone,
time it.
Soulbind, hoping to get a double stun in, but MS still dead, Supernova in, and they got the stun onto Jiao Fu. So this will end up just being a full team wipe here for Aster.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they went in 3 versus 5. Like, they chose that fight, basically. Even if they kill the Mars, they will still lose 3 heroes, and it's not worth it at all. Either way, they're not going to defend Roshan, you know, like... It's not a move that's worth it, like, ever. So, yeah. Very, very interesting decision-making coming out here from LBZS. Maybe feeling a little bit desperate, you know, because they are quite far behind at this point. And as we said, they did not itemize to scale. Pretty much on any hero.
Yeah, they're,
so,
not
like, they're
really
all in
scaling
fighting.
that well.
Yeah, Earth Spirit went BKB, Doom went BKB, Pango went BKB, they're all in on fighting. No Radiance, of course, on the Wraith King as well. Coil again, he has BKB now though.
Yeah, so he's just able to walk out of it, where maybe if you had the Ags, that's another kill into Irving, and you can push past the tier 2, maybe to the tier 3.
Yeah, now that's one of the cases where if you clicked on the Pangolier, you would have seen it, but it didn't. It's a sin of many players and many pro players alike.
It's one of the things that I'm most aware of. I'm trying to...
You're always going to click on everybody. All the time. Will make a big difference in your gameplay, guys. Free coaching here. Take it to heart. Yeah, but we can see this Arc Warden, you know, too strong at this point. Building into Butterfly next. Once he has that, he's just going to kill everybody so fast. He's already doing that. And he will just get stronger. He has 2 more item slots to fill. A Moonshot to build.
Right.
And they already have no hero that can really deal with him. Wraith King now itemizing into a BKB as well. Yeah, I mean, they still have a possibility of a double Doom, you know, on 2 prime targets. Maybe like Puck as well as Mars, but Puck has an Aegis to work with now. And he's now itemizing into an Aghanim as well.
It just feels like everything has to go right for LBZS down by this much, and one of their targets, if it's the Arc Warden, does that matter enough?
I mean, ultimately, if they can kill the Arc Warden, it's perfect for them. It's just so hard to get on top of him. He has a Hurricane Pike with his clone. He has a Hurricane Pike on his real hero. Double Pike. You know, it's like 1,000 distance. It's just incredibly hard to kill this Arc Warden here. Assuming they're in a good position. Of course, if they catch him out of position, they can kill him with a Doom. It's always possible.
Setting up
Phoenix.
over bottom.
Shiva's guard.
Jiao Fu as well as X. The BKB's been popped by Doom. Not sure he really wants to go in on this. He's focusing his attention over on the Phoenix to throw the Doom. But they already got the kill on the Grimstroke, and now your BKB is over. They're trying to survive on the Phoenix as long as he can, but eventually he falls to the Doom. They'll find Irving, who rolls up. Now to the Rolling Thunder. He'll try to escape.
On the back line.
On the 2. They don't have an arena to follow this up. They get the buyback coming in from Jiao Fu. Illusory Orb, damage from Monet, 4-staff forward, right-clicks in on a MS. He's been slowed up. Gets onto the high ground, but the Tempest double doesn't quite care. Go up onto the high ground and now start attacking the tier 3.
Yep, as soon as a clone runs towards you, all you can do at this point is run away.
All roll in. Tempest double.
Yep, 300 gold.
Ooh, I don't...
Accepted, expired.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
if it's
anybody
bad.
claimed it.
1 more level until we have the permanent Tempest double. I hate that talent. Stupid.
When you think it gets patched to?
We'll see. I mean, it is level 25, so it does, you know, need some oomph. So maybe it's warranted, maybe not. We'll see what the Mighty Frog has to say.
Oh dear, Mighty Frog. Oh, Ads. Well, enemy's done it.
Now he's just gonna burrow in front of the faces. He's like, what you gonna do about it? I mean, if you get doomed, you're just stuck there forever. There's a little bug that can't move.
I hope he goes Shard next. 1,000 gold away. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, a Philosopher's Stone doing God's work for him.
It's always nice to have Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. I think there's no real rush for Dire here. Arena on 2.
On the 2, BKB's been popped by X Success. They've got the Sunray right on top of the Wraith King. They'll also take out Jiao Fu, who bought back in the previous engagement. Catyu going in with the BKB as well as the Rolling Thunder coming out from Irving. They had the Soul Mine on these heroes, but now they won't have the Double Doom available. That's a bit of a problem. And with the BKBs used, we'll see how willing Aster are to continue to go onto the high ground.
Yep, now it's time
Double
to
siege
siege the
creep.
high ground. They do have Doom available though. No Grimstroke, but if Arc Warden, you know, gets a little bit cocky,
Buybacks on
rolling
anybody.
in.
Catyu with the kick. They've got the Doom out onto this Mars. Dream Coil used. They get the kill on Catyu. They'll take out XSS. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade with the buyback available on Earth Spirit. Catyu has buyback. We'll see if he uses it. If they'll defend the bottom set of racks.
He will have to. Otherwise, they're just going to lose the side of two.
Silence into the stun. Illusory Orb and the damage on the MS again. Just short of getting the first life, but the Spark Wraith.
I'm going to toggle. Oh, close. Felt like he almost forgot to do it.
That got pretty close. Catyu's in the trees. Hoping to maybe catch someone out again.
And there's just so many Spark Waves all around. Like, when Arc Warden starts sieging your base, it's so obnoxious to fight into all these ghosts everywhere. You gotta hate it. You love to hate it.
Now he's going Ags on the puck.
Yeah, almost complete Daedalus picked up on Arc Warden. Needs just another 500 gold. Maybe he'll just sell his Midas for it, you know? And then he really packs a punch. He's gonna crit for about 800-900 with both his hero and the clone. He's now 13k net worth ahead of the Wraith King. Easy.
He's massive. Oh my god, almost 31,000.
Yeah. Yes, yes. You know, the power of Arc Warden. Left unchecked for too long. You get your greedy Mjolnir, Midas travels up, unchecked. Easy. 5-man smoke up here from Dire. And they have the Puck Aghanims. They have 4 BKBs on Radiant, and if you get a really good coil on multiple heroes, it's rendered useless.
Axe being built there by the Doom. See how that works out. For X, Doom applies break and reduces cooldown. God's Rebuke, not going to land. Let's see, Spear out. This hero is just trying to defend as best they can. It's not the quick siege coming out from Aster just yet. Waiting on maybe the next items. Could be waiting on the next Roche as well.
Yeah, they're really in no rush at all.
Leveler. Okay. Hand that over to the Arc Warden.
Yeah. Always a great item to siege base.
Always a great item. Wow, his cooldown efficiency is now 85%.
Wasted time, 230 seconds.
Oh,
what
no,
are you
that's
doing?
MS, it's 85.
What are you doing?
Okay. Telescope. Oh, I like that for Aster. Give that to the Nyx Assassin.
But no, Spell Prison. I think Arc Warden would rather have that one.
Oh,
jump
they're
in,
looking.
Doom.
They found Borax. I don't think they want to commit the Doom here onto the Phoenix. They have the lockdown. Easy kill, but 3-man Dream Coil. They've got the axe this time. They wish they had the Supernova. They'll find the first kill onto the Wraith King with the BKB being popped here by XXS. Spear hits onto the Wraith King. It doesn't actually hit onto X. And on the backlines, they've got Catyu as well as Irving coming through with the Rolling Thunder as well as the Magnetize. But Supernova laid down. Its buyback is finally available for Borax. They've got the Soulbound onto the Puck as well as the Mars. They're chasing. They're trying to get a kill here on MS. They'll find him for the second time. He's the only one who ends up dead on LBZS and gone for 94 seconds without buyback.
And that's everything expended pretty much.
And Roche is up. They didn't use Doom.
They did not use Doom. That is true. And they don't have Grimstroke ult though. And it's probably just gonna be high ground here. Permanent Tempest double up, level 25. Very hard to defend now. You don't have a Wraith King, you're having a massive effect of damage. You're rolling in.
And they're gonna go in, they'll use that Doom. That's out on the Mars, but they're gonna kill and account you. They'll look over at everyone with BKB pop, but the damage coming in for the Arc Warden is more than enough to get right through this Doom. Look over at the Pangolier and send him back. 3 heroes dead, 2 without buyback. There go your racks up top.
And not a deny. That's the 4th of the game.
No Doom deaths here.
Digging in next to the tower.
Spike Carapace comes in, stunned from a long range away from Lanham.
That impale range is ridiculous. Rolling in.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder with Blink Dagger. Coming through is the Doom with the Ink Swell. Oh, okay, you kill the Nyx Assassin, but now what do you do from here? He's going to buy back.
Arc Warden damage,
have
Doom.
no Mars, but it's not mattering. They get the kill there onto the Doom. They'll take him out again. Down goes Jiao Fu. 4 heroes dead on the side of LBZS, and they still don't have the Wraith King alive for another 9 seconds. You You're without the Doom for 100. You're without a lot of these heroes for quite some time. And
GG.
yeah, LBZS, they'll call GG. Aster take the series 2-0, and they continue their perfect run in the Chinese DPC.
Yeah, to no surprise, really. We knew Aster was good.
Yeah.
We knew LBZS was struggling. So it's probably one of the better series for Aster to get back into, you know, after a 2 weeks break, getting a good warm-up. We have seen quite a lot of mistakes from them that they haven't done previously, so it is probably a little bit of rust coming in, you know. But they get the job done. See how they do next game, next series. They have a lot to work for still. We have seen Neon 5-0, lose one game. Maybe you're not first anymore.
Maybe even in a tiebreaker that decides their fate to the major. But here in the Chinese region, things still kind of looking like they could be close. We don't know where everybody stands just yet, but we'll see. To break down Game 2 and then the upcoming series of IG against Magma, I believe, is the panel. So we'll send it back over to you guys. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Ben and Black. Yes, that was an absolute smattering as the Arc Warden finds himself a win, and LBZS unfortunately find themselves with yet another loss under their belt. Things really not going too hot for them in the DPC Chinese region, but on the other hand, Aster looking clean, looking very crisp.
A couple of mistakes here and there, you know, they were a better team coming into this matchup. They still are after this series, but I have to say, like, LBZS, this is the best Dota I've seen from them in this DPC season. Like, they played extremely well first 20-25 minutes of the game. Irving was popping off on this Pangolier. Like, we gotta give them credit, because this team did not win a single game so far in the DPC season, but yeah, they look the best in this one for sure. Like, their rotations, couple of, like, still, you know, they have a couple of things they struggle with. The rotations, when they're playing from behind, you can feel that one point when everything just starts to fall apart for the team. Like, it's something that we've seen so far multiple times in different regions as well, and they look like the worst team so far.
They look like they could even take the game at some point, and then you remember, oh, there's a triangle, and there's a sneaky little Arc Warden farming there, just chilling and biding his time. That was the problem. They were rolling on the Pango's Rolling Thunder for really all the early game. He had, what, 10-0, 8-0 score at some point. I think they killed the...
he was godlike.
Yeah, they killed him on the 10th streak, and Arc Warden got the bounty. So it was the perfect scenario for Aster. Overall, just very well executed by them. They did make a couple of mistakes, but I think mostly those mistakes are over-exaggerated, because you are playing 4 versus 5, and one hero is just chilling in the jungle until he gets those travels. The turning point really was the moment when he has Maelstrom travels, and then he can join any single fight and create a difference. Then he went into the Scuddy and the Pike, just such a normal build for Arc Warden in this game, and even Rolling Thunder doesn't do anything anymore, as you just stand in magnetic field and you hit it, so you can't roll through that any longer.
No, it was quite ineffectual, but you know, can you really tell us what LBZS could have done to shut down this Arc Warden?
Usually what you do is you invade the triangle a little bit earlier. You have to play a different game. The smokes need to be targeted in different directions.
Every single time, like, you have a smoke, that's a good point. Where, like, you need to kill Arc Warden. Every single time, you need to shut him down. Arc Warden these days, they skip boots. They go Midas, Maelstrom into boots, because all they want to do is hit some creeps in the triangle after getting that Midas. So, yeah, a very specific hero to play against. If you're not experienced, if you don't have an Arc Warden player maybe to guide you, because if you have a player, he knows his timings, he knows his strengths and weaknesses, it could be hard. You know, one of the weirdest Dota heroes overall, I would say.
Wow, look at the difference in creep gold from this game, though. Almost 10k nearly. I mean, goodness me.
That's really the Arc Warden, right?
Yeah.
He's literally they did start off the game well. They pressured his lane, but when you do pressure his lane and when you realize, okay, we have dominated, you need to take that tier 1 on the mid lane as fast as possible, as it grants you access to the triangle. They did try attacking it multiple times, but they didn't take it early enough. It was mostly like hitting a wall. They doom a target, then the target gets denied, and they move back.
Aster's movement was really, really good in this game. They, like, did not allow to get the double doom on 2 key heroes that they need to still win a team fight, and like it's a possibility that Leash is gonna bounce onto the Arc Warden clone, so you like don't have this secondary Doom target. It's just, you know, Aster's overall game plan and approach to the team fight is much more superior.
Yep, and our MVP for game number 2 is going to be Monet for this one, playing, of course, on the Arc Warden. You know, he was a guy turning up 900 GPM, loads of hero damage, generally just kind of farming very, very, very well.
Yeah, effectively farming. That's pretty much what it was. He had 5k net worth minute 12. That's very solid. That's Midas and Javelin plus Raid Band. So it's how you need to be playing this hero. Really well performed. Maybe we should look at the rest of the team that allows this to happen, really. Like Lacoste said, it's about the movement surrounding the Arc Warden. It's not necessarily the Arc Warden's job. Is very simple early on. Later on, the micro can get a little bit hectic, but early on, you're literally just hitting creeps and stacking the Ancients.
Yeah, so it's more on, you know, the rest of the team to create space. Who do you think did that the best then?
Like Lanham was all over the place. I think Lanham as like Nyx Assassin, Falcon Blade, Aghanim Scepter. Like I can't believe how farmed he was. You know, he found a Philly Philosopher's Stone, so that helped quite a bit. Also, to go back like to game 1, Lanham is an insanely like talented, experienced player. Like position 5 Abaddon. I check his score. He's like 6, 2, and 6 on Abaddon, making rotations. Level 3 on a mid lane, getting kills. He got
the first blood with that Abaddon as well.
He's insane. Like I'm becoming a fan, not just of a player, but also as a specific hero, Abaddon, which in my opinion kind of is counter-reactive and a bit of like slow. But the way he plays it, he's extremely aggressive with it. Like so, Lanham is really on point.
I mean, he's made that hero first pick material in the Chinese region. He's the one who's done that, and now everyone's doing it. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But of course, the standings are now going to be updated with those wins and losses into account, which means that Aster are reaching lofty heights at 4-0, and LBZS unfortunately down at the lowest of lows with 0-5. Not looking too fresh for them. Probably going to be taking a trip down to the lower division pretty soon. Not too sure if they stand much. Well, they still stand a tiny chance of making it back if eHome somehow aren't able to win any more games. But of course, they'd need to win one as well. It's very unlikely is what we're trying to say here. Guys, I guess we will be throwing it over to a break. But before we do that, let's just have a quick preview of our next series and how we think that one's going to go. I mean, is it going to feel like a bit of a repeat?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, a team which hasn't lost yet versus a team which has only won one series, and that was against LBZS. So expect more of the same, but, you know, it should still be some entertaining Dota. See what IG are going to bring to the table after the 2-week break. So we are going to throw it across to the break, after which we shall be back with that series. So make sure you join us then for the next series of the day here at the DPC Chinese region with Perfect World. We'll see you soon.